Check, check.
It's Game 2 of the 2019 Cape League Playoffs, live from Red Wilson Field. It's the YD Red Sox eyeing a sweep of the Orleans Firebirds behind Legend Smith on the mound up against a scrappy and overperforming Firebirds squad. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red. Brian McLaughlin with Andre Sims here with you tonight. It's Game 2 of the Cape League Playoffs. YD took Game 1 at Eldridge Park in Orleans last evening. Andre, it was a nail-biter 7-6 final. Orleans stormed back in the bottom of the ninth and had the bases loaded, but Oscar Carvajal, just by the skin of his teeth, ended up surviving the comeback from Orleans.
Yeah, it was not pretty by any stretch. It was a lot of walks. It was a combination of Carvajal and Lamelli. Lamelli started the problem, and then Carvajal exacerbated it, continuing to allow Orleans to score in the bottom of the ninth. And it's one of those things where, had I believe it was Brad Beasley not scored an unearned run in the top of the ninth, we're looking at a much different ball game yesterday. And so if you're YD, you can't continue to rely on the ball bouncing your way. You can't continue to rely on Orleans' mistakes to fuel you to wins. Because if you ask me, in that ninth inning, they were outplayed. They deserved to lose that game. They just got lucky that Orleans continued to shoot themselves in the foot earlier in that game, allowing them to have such a lead at that point.
When you look at this YD offense, though, early it was a couple heroes who have been hot at certain points of the season, but as of late, especially in the month of July, have really cooled off. Andrew Eyster and Tate Samuelson in the middle of the order last night for YD. Samuelson, 2 hits and a couple of RBI. Andrew Eyster hit his first home run in over a month. It was a solo, or rather a 2-run shot to right field. Those are 2 big pieces if they heat up for this YD team on a night when both Wyatt Young and Austin Wells really struggled.
Yeah, if you looked at that lineup, it was probably a little bit questionable from an offensive standpoint, but I think that was the best we've seen Tate Samuelson look all season long. He was comfortable at the plate. You saw it in his first at-bat when he worked a very, very good walk, worked deep into that count, battled back from behind into the count to work that walk, and then every single one of his hits he barreled up. And for Eyster, it was absolutely – you could see the relief on him as he was rounding the bases. You could see in the reception that he got from his teammates upon getting back to the dugout how much they wanted that for him. And I think the most impressive thing about that swing for Andrew Eyster was that he went the opposite way to right field at Eldridge. And so if those two can produce, not even at that level, but at least half of that level, you're obviously not expecting 3 hits and a home run every single night, but if they can have production from them, Tate Samuelson in the cleanup spot today, that's a big-time opportunity for him to stay hot. And if he hits well out of the cleanup spot, it's a big-time game for YD.
When you look at the lineup tonight, there's a couple changes. No Wyatt Young and no Noah Campbell. Campbell had last night off as well. Both of them struggling with some injuries right now, a little bit banged up. And after the win yesterday, pick giving them both another day trying to get healthy. Who do you think, in the absence of Young and Campbell, steps up today? Beasley in the leadoff spot, Riley King in the 2-hole, Wells staying in that 3 spot. Who steps up offensively?
It's got to be Brad Beasley. He was the guy that solidified the gap between Young and Wells throughout this season. Him hitting in the 2-hole absolutely helped this team offensively. Now he's out of that spot. Now he's going to have to be more of a table setter. Really the guy who gets us started, not keeping it moving. And so I'm looking at him to have a big game with the wind blowing out. He's shown the sneaky power with the wind blowing out. Could put that on display again today. I look at Brad Beasley as the guy that's the catalyst for the sweep if YD wants to pull it off today.
On the mound, it's Legend Smith for YD and Isaac Esqueda out of USC for the Firebirds. Legend Smith has an ERA under 3 in his 4 starts on the mound, and Esqueda has only allowed 6 earned runs all season long, but 2 of those earned runs came against the Red Sox. He allowed 3 runs in that relief appearance. What are you looking at from the 2 arms today, both southpaws?
I think what it comes down to is who's going to last the longest. I think whichever team gets to the bullpen first is going to have a better chance of winning this game. Because when you look at the bullpens for either side, it's definitely not the strongest unit for either team. And so you mentioned Legend Smith pitched very well against Orleans in his first start of the summer, a spot start in the place of Ian Seymour, who was sick at the time. He pitched very well, shutout in that one over 5 innings of work. If Orleans can get to him, I think Whitey's going to struggle in this game. And conversely, if Whitey can get to Esqueda on the mound, I think that in the same token, Orleans is going to have a hard time winning.
Game 2 here from Red Wilson Field. YD eyeing a sweep of the Firebirds, while Orleans is looking to force Game 3 in the opening round of the 2019 Cape League playoffs. First pitch and starting lineups and more coming up next when we return. This is Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Red Wilson Field, Legend Smith is on the mound for the Red Sox as we are set to go in the top of the first inning here in Game 2 of the 2019 Cape League playoffs. Legend Smith enters today the Oklahoma Sooner with a 1-1 record, 4.50 ERA, 8 appearances, 4 starts for Smith on the hill for the Red Sox this summer. The Firebirds line up tonight. First 5 are similar to last evening. Jacob Hurtubise leads off in center field. Julio Marcano is at first base tonight, batting second. Max Troiani out of Bentley hitting .345 on the summer, bats third in left field. Shea Whitcomb in the cleanup hole out of San Diego at second base. Rob Emery, the catcher, bats fifth out of San Francisco. Eddie McCabe is at third base out of Georgetown, batting sixth. Josh Zamora bats seventh, the designated hitter tonight. Trevin Esquera bats eighth out of Loyola. He's in right field, the switch hitter. And Tanner Murray rounds out the order, the shortstop from UC Davis. YD took the opening matchup last night of this 2019 Cape League playoff campaign, 7-6. They were up 7-1 entering the bottom of the ninth, but Orleans stormed back for 5 runs and was threatening for more. But Whitey was just able to escape the jam and take opening night from the Firebirds. Smith, the lefty, home white uniforms for the Red Sox tonight. Red Sox across the chest, similar to the Boston Red Sox. Red piping down the chest and the pant legs. Red caps for YD with socks across the front panel. Hurtubise in the lefty batter's box. Smith from the windup. First pitch of the ball game. Fastball misses just down low for ball 1. Hurtubise in the red road uniforms for the Firebirds. White pants, white numbers. Chokes up from the left side. Here's the 1-0. Fastball lifted in the air, right center field. Beasley racing over into the gap. Now he backs up, and it goes over his head, up towards the wall. Hurtubise motors around second, digging for third. He'll get there standing up. A leadoff triple for Jacob Hurtubise. Beasley misread it just a hair in center. It kept drifting backwards and falls over his head. An ideal start for Orleans.
Second, the first baseman.
That just shows what kind of role the wind is going to play today for both teams, as that one took off on Brad Beasley in center field, was cutting laterally to make that play, and then it ended up carrying just enough and took it over his head already. And with the speed of Hurtubise, that was an easy triple once that got past Beasley.
Runner on third, nobody down for the Firebirds in the top of the first. And Legend Smith out of the stretch. First pitch to Julio Marcano, misses inside for ball 1. Marcano out of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, hitting .256 on the season, does have a home run. All regular season stats. Smith with the 1-0. Fastball poured in for strike 1, a ball and a strike. Legend Smith, in his 5th start of the summer, first of the playoffs, made his first start of the summer in a spot start against Orleans, and he has taken off in a starting role. Here's the 1-1. Marcano watches it in there again. A fastball for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes. As a starter, Smith has a 2.69 ERA. As a whole this season, a 4.5 ERA for the Oklahoma lefty. A ball and 2 strikes to Marcano, the righty. The 1-2. Ripped, that's going to get through for a base hit. Back up the middle outside the reach of R.J. Yeager, and that plates Jacob Hurtubise. Orleans strikes first with back-to-back hits off Legend Smith. 1-0. Still nobody down in the first inning.
That's exactly the kind of start you want if you're Orleans with your back against the wall. Come out, draw first blood. Put YD under some pressure early with the lineup not featuring the likes of Wyatt Young, Noah Campbell. You want to be able to score as many runs as you can early to try to get to this YD bullpen.
Now Max Troiani from the right side out of Bentley. First pitch from Smith. From the stretch, called strike, right on the outside corner. Thomas Gandolfo, the crew chief, the home plate umpire today. Rick Emerson at first, Jeffrey Merzel, man second, and John DiGirolamo at third base.
Well done.
Thank you. No balls and a strike to Troiani. 1 runner on first, nobody down. The pitch. Fouled back by Troiani. No balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Orleans here in the first. As Andre said, it's a short-manned YD team today. No Wyatt Young or Noah Campbell in the starting lineup, but both might be available off the bench if needed in a pinch hitting variety. The 0-2. Fouled back by Troiani to the cage behind home plate. Another 0-2 pitch coming up. The defense today for the Red Sox. Austin Wells in left field. It's Brad Beasley in center. Andrew Eister, who homered last evening, in right. Riley King at the hot corner. R.J. Yeager at short. Sam Hall gets another start at second base. And Tate Samuelson is at first base holding on the base runner Marcano. Long pause from Legend Smith on the mound. Now the 0-2. Fastball just off the plate away, framed by Noah Cardenas behind the plate. The UCLA Bruin, the battery mate today of Smith. A ball and 2 strikes. The inning began with a triple into the right field gap from Jacob Hurtubise. Play Brad Beasley would tell you he probably should have made. Just a little bit misjudged. 1-2, breaking ball. Just off the plate, up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Smith to Troiani. Troiani hit .345, was battling for the batting title with a really great month of July. Out of the Division II school, Bentley chokes up from the right side with 2 strikes on him. Marcano leads from first. The 2-2. Curveball. This one dips low. It's 3 straight balls, and the count is full. Beautiful day here at Red Wilson Field. The early start, no lights at the Red. Trying to play the full 9 in Game 2 of the playoffs. Wind is whipping out. Check on first from Smith. Backstanding Marcano. Cardenas is a great arm behind the plate. Marcano 0 for 2 in stolen base tries this season. But the wind is going to play a factor today, pushing out an already a pretty hitter-friendly ballpark. Smith from the stretch. The 3-2 to Troiani. Breaking ball. Grounded right at R.J. Yeager. Slight bobble. Flip to Hall at second. Sidearm to first. Not in time. Scoots past Samuelson anyways. Troiani stays put at first. It's a fielder's choice from Troiani. Marcano is forced out at second. Troiani replaces him on first base, and that's the first out of the ball game for Legend Smith.
Second baseman from the University of California at San Diego, number 31, Shea Whitcomb.
1-0 Firebirds here in the top of the first inning. Couple of quick hits off Legend Smith. Got them on the board before YD could get anything going. Haven't even come to the plate yet against Isaac Esqueda. Now Shea Whitcomb, the righty from San Diego. First pitch breaking ball, called strike from Smith. It's 0-1. Smith from the stretch. Troiani on first base, has 5 stolen bases. Decent lead there. YD playing Whitcomb to pull. 0-1. Another breaking ball. This one brushes the outside corner, and Legend Smith in command. 0-2 to Whitcomb. Whitcomb had a really good day at the plate yesterday. Drove in a run, had a double, a 2 for 5 day for the Firebirds. Hitting .303 in the regular season, 8 home runs on the year. The 0-2. Fastball misses away, a ball and 2 strikes. Sam Hall playing up the middle. Yeager in the hole at shortstop. Massive hole on the right side for Whitcomb. They have the runner picked off. Samuelson throws to Hall at second. Lays the tag on Troiani, and they got him. Legend Smith gets Troiani leading. He takes off for second, but it's Samuelson to Hall, and there's the second out of the first.
That's now 3 pickoffs already in this series for YD, something that there again probably preserved the win yesterday and could end up being a play that you circle, even if we're only in the first inning, as a crucial moment in this one tonight.
First pitch misses to Rob, or rather still Shea Whitcomb at the plate. Not a new batter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, as that was low to Whitcomb. 2-2. Checked his swing. Breaking ball misses. He did not go around. Appeal to first. Rick Emerson held his hands up to both sides. And it's a full count with 2 down. 1-0 Orleans here in the first over YD. Game 2 of the 2019 Cape League playoffs. First game to get underway today in the Cape League. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. It kicks away from Cardenas. He bare hands. Fires to Samuelson, and there's the third out of the frame. One run comes across for the Firebirds on a triple from Hurtubise and a single from Marcano, but that's all in the first. 1-0 Orleans. YDs gets their first hacks when we return here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Red Wilson Field for the bottom of the first inning. It's 1-0 Orleans already over YD. The starter today for Orleans on the hill is Isaac Esqueda, left-handed pitcher out of USC. Just his third start here of the season, first to the playoffs. He had 8 appearances, 6 out of the bullpen during the regular season for Orleans, and just a 2.17 ERA. The southpaw was really good all summer for the Firebirds. Whitey's offense tonight, without a couple familiar faces, including Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell, lines up as follows. Brad Beasley leads off in center in place of Young. Riley King, second straight start for him in the 2 spot at third base. Austin Wells is 0 for his last 16, bats third. Tate Samuelson a 2-hit day yesterday in the cleanup spot. Carson Taylor, the switch hitter at designated hitter fifth. Andrew Eister homered yesterday for the first time in over a month. He bats 7th in right field. Noah Cardenas bats 7th, doing the catching. Sam Hall is at second base batting 8th. And R.J. Yeager rounds out the order at shortstop. Again, Beasley, King, Wells, Samuelson, Taylor, Eister, Cardenas, Hall, and Yeager. Pretty righty-heavy lineup tonight against Esqueda, the lefty. First pitch to Brad Beasley. Hard grounder right at the third baseman McCabe. He scoops it up and tosses to first to get Beasley for the first out of the inning. A rocket off the bat of Beasley, but up on the grass was McCabe, and he just stuck the leather out, and it stuck right in the glove for him. 1 down on a hard hit ball from Beasley. Now Riley King. King had a solid day yesterday. Doubled for YD, 2 for 5. He also scored once. Moved up in the 2 spot as Scott Pickler tried to switch around his order a little bit. The wind from Esqueda. First pitch to King. Fastball misses away to the righty for ball 1. King has crushed left-handed pitching all season long, hitting above 400. He's below the 300 mark against any righties. Back-to-back southpaws for Orleans has Riley moved up in the order. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, there was a changeup. Missed outside to King. 2 balls and no strikes. Firebirds defense playing King to pull. We'll walk you through their defensive alignment after King's at bat. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Off speed again. Misses away to King. It's 3-0. 1-0 Orleans. They scored on a couple of hits against Legend Smith in their half of the first. Esqueda gets his sign from Emery behind the plate. Here's the 3-0 to King. Fastball misses down and in. It's ball 4. A 1-out walk to Riley King, and he's aboard in front of Austin Wells. The defense tonight for Orleans, Max Troiani in left field, Jacob Hurtubise in center, and Trevin Esquera is in right. Eddie McCabe, who made the first play at the hot corner, true to its name early. Tanner Murray's at short, Shea Whitcomb at second. They're the normal double play duo for Orleans. And Julio Marcano, not the normal first baseman, but he's getting the start at first, now holding on King with Wells at the dish. Emery behind the plate. Lefty-lefty here, Esqueda to Wells. Check on first. King is back standing. Wells is 0 for his last 16, including 7 strikeouts. But earlier today, Austin Wells was awarded with the 2019 McNeese It's Outstanding Pro Prospect, selected by the Cape League Scouts. An outstanding award for Austin Wells. First pitch today to him, fouled back out of play, strike 1. Wells has had an incredible season. Probably going to be the runner-up in MVP voting behind Nick Gonzalez. But I think it's deserving to give him the Outstanding Pro Prospect Award.
Absolutely, and that's a testament to the type of season that he had despite finishing the year on a cold streak, and he'd be the first to tell you.
0-1 breaking ball, he swings and misses, it's 0-2.
I mean, he's almost cynical in a way with how he acknowledges the fact that he struggled to end the year, but he has a sense of humor about it. He's able to look at it critically, but just because he had a few bad games to end the year doesn't take away from the fact that he was an absolute force in the middle of this YD order for 41 games this season.
Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball line, back up the middle, and Wells gets off the schneid with a single to center. Went down and got the hook, and there's 2 aboard for YD in the first. A King walk and now a Wells single. He snaps the 0 for 16 skid, and YD in business now with the Tate Samuelson cleanup hitter, up with 2 on and 1 down. Wells was working really hard with Scott Pickler today during BP. Wells, normally not a guy that Pick tries to make any adjustments with, but Wells was seeking him out once again, trying to figure something out. Just a soft single up the middle, but that gets the job done. Now Esqueda to Samuelson from the stretch. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the inner half to Tate. 0-1. Samuelson had a .240 regular season with 1 home run, but looked outstanding at the plate yesterday. 2 for 4 day, 2 RBIs, and a 10-pitch at-bat that resulted in a walk. 0-1. Ripped, line and catch at the third baseman McCabe. He has no play on the base runners. Samuelson scorched another, but McCabe has made 2 outstanding plays here in the first that have probably kept the Red Sox off the board. A line drive, McCabe took 1 step to his left and snared it, and there's 2 down. Hot corner living up to its name in the first inning for Eddie McCabe. 1-0 Firebirds. Orleans has survived pretty good at-bats from the YD top of the order in the first inning. Now it's Carson Taylor with 2 down. The switch hitter hits from the right side. First pitch breaking ball, misses low to Taylor, and it's 1-0. 2 home runs on the season for Taylor, a late addition to the YD roster. Hitting just .152, 5 hits, but 2 of those are doubles. Can hit from both sides of the plate. Yesterday he DH'd as well and went 2 for 5. Swing and a miss on the 1-0 changeup. The ball and a strike with 2 down. Taylor, the Virginia Tech Hokie, trying to plate Riley King from second. Wells leads from first. The ball and a strike. The infield of Orleans plays Taylor slightly to pull. Esqueda from the stretch sets at the belt. Here's the 1-1. Nubbed right back on a hop to Esqueda. He glove slips to Mercado, and that ends the inning. Taylor grounds out. YD leaves 2 on base on 1 hit in the first. 1-0 Firebirds. After 1 here at Red Wilson. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Red Wilson Field, top of the second inning, 1-0 Firebirds over Red Sox. It's game 2 of the 2019 Cape League playoffs here at the Red. The home opener of the Cape Cod playoffs for these YD Red Sox, but they're trailing Orleans 1-0 here in the second. Emery, McCabe, and Zamora due up for the Firebirds against Legend Smith here in inning number 2. The southpaw Smith, first pitch to the righty Emery. Breaking ball lined foul and out of play up the first base line. Orleans struck in the first inning on a leadoff triple from Jacob Hurtubise to start the ball game. He scored a batter later on the Julio Marcano single through the left side. 0-1 to Emery. Fastball tails off the plate away to the righty, a ball and a strike. YD looking for the sweep. Orleans hoping to head back to historic Eldridge Park tomorrow for game 3. The wind from Smith. Here's the 1-1. Skips in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Two of the most historic franchises here in the Cape League. YD has had more success over these last few years. 3 titles since 2010. That's the most in the Cape League. 6 since 2000. Scott Pickler's reign of dominance. 2-1. Breaking ball misses low to Emery. It's blocked by Cardenas. 3 balls and a strike. And that dominance has continued, especially against Kelly Nicholson, who has had a great tenure in the Cape League himself, but in the playoffs, including yesterday, Pick is 13-2 against Kelly in the postseason. Here's the 3-1 to Emery from Smith. Fastball misses inside and a leadoff walk for the catcher for the Firebirds here in the second. That's quite the run for Scott Pickler. For whatever reason, any move he seems to make in the playoffs has worked in his tenure.
Oh, absolutely. I remember in 2016, I believe the Red Sox finished 3rd or 4th that year and just made a run there at the end. Got hot at the right time, and that was the last of the second three-peat.
First pitch to Eddie McCabe, misses high and away for ball 1.
I remember thinking about that team, like they were good, but I would not have pegged them as the title favorite by any stretch that year, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, it's a three-peat. I was left like, wait, what? Really? Wow. Got to respect the run that he's at.
1-0. McCabe takes a breaking ball down the middle, a ball and a strike. YD won the title in 2014, 15, and 16, but they've been bounced in the opening round in back-to-back seasons. Last year, they were the top-seeded team in the league entering playoffs, but were swept by the Brewster Whitecaps. The 1-1 to McCabe. Fastball buzzes up and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Emery on first. Nobody down here in the second. Orleans on top, 1-0 over YD. McCabe, the third baseman, made a couple great plays in the field in the first inning to keep YD off the scoreboard. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses away. 3 balls and a strike. Legend Smith struggling with some command here in the second. Uncharacteristic on the season, Smith 29 strikeouts, just 9 walks in 26 innings. Already 1 walk here in the inning, and a 3-ball count now to McCabe. From the stretch, sets at the chest. Here's the 3-1. Fastball, knee high, called strike. McCabe was jogging down the first base line. Barely hung on to the lumber, was beginning to toss it towards the dugout, but he'll return to the batter's box with a full count. Nobody out, Emery on first. Emery's tried 2 stolen bases this year, but the catcher's been caught both times. 3-2 count to McCabe. Smith sets. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball, line drive, center field, incoming Beasley, makes a running catch. Emery retreats to first. A nice snag from Beasley. Broke in, moving a hair towards left center, and a sharp line out from McCabe for the first out of the second. Good for Beasley after misplaying a ball in the first inning on the triple from Hurtubise to make a nice read and a nice catch here in the second. One to nothing Firebirds. YD on top in the series, 1-0. Orleans trying to force game 3. Zamora now to the plate out of Nevada, hitting 136 on the season, the lowest on this Orleans team. Chokes up on the bat from the right side. First pitch from Smith. The curveball, it misses low. 1-0 to Zamora. Emery still on first with one down. Zamora hit over 300 this year for Nevada, but has not gotten it going in the Cape League. Kelly Nicholson giving him the start today. The 1-0. Fastball called strike. The ball and a strike right at the knees of Zamora. Kelly Nicholson letting Thomas Gandolfo know behind the plate he does not agree. A ball and a strike. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Through a fastball. Now Smith in command. A ball and 2 strikes. 1-0 Orleans, looking for more in the second inning. YD threatened in their half of the first. Had runners on first and second, but a line out off the bat of Tate Samuelson and then Carson Taylor ground out ended the threat. Smith with the 1-2. Fastball flared, shallow right field. Incoming Eister, it gets down on a hop. Emery only moves up to second, had to hold on the soft liner. Zamora just pokes it into right, and there are runners on first and second with one down here in the second for Orleans.
Number 2, Trevin Esquera.
Smith struggling a bit here against the Firebirds, a team that is known for their pitching staff, leading the Cape League in ERA, entering postseason play, but just 6th in runs scored. This is a lineup, Andre, without one player from a Power 5 conference in the starting 9. First pitch to Trevin Esquera. Swings right through it. Strike 1.
Yeah, it's kind of the offense by committee for Orleans. There's not a guy like an Austin Wells or a Noah Campbell who, at any given point, you could count on them to have a 4-for-4 day, a couple of home runs, 6 RBI. There's no real high-profile guy. It takes a village for Orleans offensively.
0-1, called strike on the outside corner to the switch-hitting Esquera. He hits from the right side against legend Smith.
It feels kind of similar to Harwich, only Harwich does have a couple more of those high-profile guys, but it kind of feels the same way. And like I look at a Josh Zamora type and kind of see him in the same vein as Hal Hughes for a Harwich guy that doesn't do a lot offensively.
0-2, swing and a miss. Esquera chased a fastball at the eyes, and he goes down swinging. Second strikeout today for legend Smith. Orleans leads it 1-0 with 2 down. They have runners on first and second.
So it just feels like they kind of need someone to step up every day. They don't have that person to where, well, the offense is struggling, but at least we can count on this guy to get a hatful. So they need to have someone step up each and every game.
You mentioned Hal Hughes. Yesterday he went 3 for 3 and scored the only run in the 1-0 Mariners win over Chatham. A no-hitter for Harwich. How about the Mariners? Now Tanner Murray with 2 down, the 9-man in the order for Orleans. Out of UC Davis, the shortstop for the Firebirds. First pitch to the righty. Breaking ball bounced foul up the third baseline. Emery on second. He led off the inning with a walk. Zamora on first. He singled softly to right. 3 early hits against legend Smith through 2 innings for the Firebirds. They led it 1-0 yesterday. YD answered for 3 runs in the 4th, opened things up to 7-1, but Orleans made it interesting in the 9th. The final score was 7-6 Red Sox in night 1. 0-1 breaking ball fouled back to the cage. Murray's down in a hole now, 0-2 with 2 down. Crowd starting to file in here at Red Wilson. Early start time, 4 o'clock for the playoffs. Trying to ensure we fit all 9 innings in today. No lights here at the Red. 0-2. Fouled off by Murray. He battles. Got a fastball over the middle. Can only send it back over our heads and out of play. Another 0-2 pitch coming up. 1-0 Firebirds. 2 down, runners on first and second. No balls, 2 strikes to Murray. Smith sets to the plate. Line drive through the right side, a base hit. Eister up with it and right. The wave coming towards the plate. Here's the throw from Eister. Not in time. A great slide from Emery. He scores with a feet first slide. Just squeaks the hand in. It's 2-0 Orleans in the second. The bottom of the Firebirds order comes through. Zamora goes to third. Emery scores, and it's a 2-out single for Tanner Murray to drive in a run.
17, Jacob Hurtubise.
Now runners on the corners with 2 down for Orleans. Top of their lineup, and Jacob Hurtubise to the plate. It was an on-target throw from Eister. Emery just snuck his hand in before the tag from Cardenas. A wide slide in the foul territory side. Lefty-lefty here. Smith to Hurtubise. Hesitation on the stretch move. First pitch, squeaks past Cardenas. Runner's going to move up to second. Nothing doing from Zamora at third. Cardenas tried to frame a first pitch strike to Hurtubise. It just popped in and out of his glove, trickled about 10 feet behind him, enough to move up for Murray to second on the pass ball, and now 2 in scoring position for Orleans in the second. They lead it 2-0 in game 2 of this Eastern Division semifinal matchup. The 0-1. Breaking ball, line drive. That's a base hit into center. Beasley's up with it in center. 2 runs are going to score. Throw goes into second, and it's a 3-run second inning for the Firebirds. Jacob Hurtubise is 2 for 2, a triple and a couple of RBIs. Great day for the leadoff hitter out of the Military Academy. 4-0 Orleans in the second. Both Zamora and Murray come around to score on the hit from Hurtubise. Legend Smith has been so good in his starts for YD, getting hit around here today. Already 5 hits, 4 runs, and we're not through the second inning yet.
I mentioned it in the open, Brian. Whichever team could chase the starter first was going to have a good shot of winning this game, and already Chase Walter up and stretching in the YD bullpen. Christian Wonders got down there in a hurry and told someone, hey, let's get going here, because it's in a precarious situation right now, down 4-0 in the second.
YD does have tomorrow since they won game 1, but already down 4-0 here in the second inning. It is also early. We know the YD offense has some firepower, but today without 2 of their all-stars, Noah Campbell and Wyatt Young. Marcano at the plate. He had an RBI single in the first inning. Now up in the second. First pitch misses outside to the righty for ball 1. 1 run in the first, 3 in the second for Orleans. They lead at 4-0, top 2. Smith still from the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Fastball roped foul up the third baseline. Hooked off the bat of Marcano. A ball and a strike. Marcano went 1 for 3 with a run yesterday. He struck out twice. Already batting for the second time today here in the second inning. Here's the 1-1. Off speed misses low below the knees of Marcano. 2 balls and a strike. Walter starting to toss now down in the left field bullpen for YD. Legend Smith already up over 40 pitches in the second inning. Here's the 2-1. Fastball, high chopper at Riley King at third. Gloves above his head. Low throw to first. Dug out by Tate Samuelson. Nice pick at first by the Cal Poly first baseman. And YD gets out of the second. Orleans strands 1, but they score 3 on 3 hits and a walk in the inning. 4-0 Firebirds through 1.5. Eister, Cardenas, and Hall to the plate when we return for the Red Sox. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second inning, back at the Red. It's the Eastern Division Semifinals, second game between the Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox. Orleans leads early here in the second in game 2. They're up 4-0 over YD as we enter the home half of the second inning. Isaac Esqueda was able to work around a walk and a single in the first. He'll face the bottom half of the YD order here in the second. Eister, Cardenas, and Hall, the first 3 men. First pitch to Eister, looping, breaking ball in there for strike 1 from Esqueda.
We don't have a radar gun here, but I'm pretty sure that was getting close to EFIS territory.
Right over the top. Falls right about waist high to Eister for strike 1. Now lefty Esqueda to the righty Eister. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, misses low, a ball and a strike. Andrew Eister finished the season on one of the coldest stretches of anybody in the Cape League after one of the hottest first 2 weeks. Last 6 weeks were a struggle for him at the plate. The 1-1, breaking ball, misses low and inside, 2 balls and a strike to Eister. But yesterday, he started to look like his old self. Absolutely launched an opposite field home run to right. Also had a walk, scored once on the home run, and his last at-bat of the day crushed a line drive out to Hurtubise in center. 2-1. Ground ball softly left side. McCabe charges. He can't make the play. Squeaks under his glove into shallow left. That's likely an E5 on the third baseman for the Firebirds. After a great first inning for McCabe, where he robbed the Red Sox of a couple of hits, he boots the soft grounder from Eister to begin the second. Eister aboard, the leadoff man for YD here in inning number 2. And that brings up Noah Cardenas. Noah, the catcher out of UCLA, has started to pick it up with the bat lately as well. 5 of his 7 RBIs on the year came in his last 3 starts. First pitch fastball. That's hammered deep into left center. Hurtubise going back. He leaps and makes a jumping catch. Hurtubise robs one in left center. Eister back to first. And that's a great play by Jacob Hurtubise in the gap. Robbed Cardenas of extra bases. Would have clanked off the wall.
I think by my count, that's now the 3rd time that Hurtubise has robbed a YD hitter of a hit. He had a couple of outstanding diving catches way back when he was still donning a Harwich Mariners uniform. That was back in the game before Fenway Day. Again, with another outstanding catch in center field. He's got excellent range out there. One of the best defensive center fielders on the Cape.
It's the Jacob Hurtubise game early. The leadoff man for the Firebirds. Already a triple, a run, a single, and 2 RBIs. Now Sam Hall to the plate. First pitch blooper, shallow right field, backing up the second baseman Whitcomb, and he makes the catch in shallow right. Soft pop out from Hall. Thought for a moment it might have eyes and fall over Whitcomb's head, but it dies just into the outfield grass. 2 down now in the second for YD, and that brings up the 9-man in their order, RJ Yeager. Eister on first. He reached on an error by Whitcomb. 4-0 Firebirds here in the second. Yeager getting the start at shortstop with Wyatt Young out of the lineup today. First pitch to Yeager. There's the bending curveball again. Waist high for strike 1. Young has been nursing a bit of a groin issue for about 3 weeks now. And Noah Campbell still trying to recover from an ankle injury he suffered at Hartford against the Gatemen. 0-1 to Yeager. Wave and a miss. He's down 0-2 to Esqueda. So YD a little shorthanded in their lineup today. Looking for contributions from the likes of Hall and Yeager. No balls, 2 strikes. Eister from first. The pitch to Yeager. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Esqueda works around the air and leaves Eister stranded in the second. 4-0 Firebirds. We're through a pair at the Red. This is Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Number 32.
Top of the third inning, the Firebirds up 4-0 with their backs against the wall here in game number 2. Max Troiani steps in 3, 4, and 5, heart of the order against Legend Smith, second time through the lineup as he delivers a first pitch fastball that tails wide, and it's 1-0. It's been a less than ideal start for Legend Smith here through 2 innings, already 4 runs in, and the pitch count continues to climb. And it's now 1-1 to the left fielder, Troiani. Troiani now ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Troiani reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and then was erased on a pickoff play. That one's on the ground, and that one gets through the hole past the dive of Riley King. And it's a leadoff single for Max Troiani.
Leadoff man has now been aboard in every inning against Legend Smith. Orleans is really squaring him up right here. And this is not a prolific offense. They get their hits, and Troiani, the all-star, and was among the league leaders in hits all season, but they are really looking comfortable against Legend Smith. He hasn't been able to get them off balance one time.
That last pitch was pitch number 51 for Legend Smith through 2+ innings of work. So already the pitch count not where he wants it to be. Picked off Troiani last time on base. A much more cautious lead this time around as the first pitch to Shea Whitcomb is in the dirt, blocked well by Cardenas behind the plate, and it's 1-0. I think defensively, Brian, one thing that kept YD, preserved the win yesterday, and also I think will be big today as well. Austin Wells was a brick wall behind home plate last night, and Cardenas, arguably even better defensively, is going to have a tall task today.
Yep.
The 1-0. Chopped foul lazily up the third base line, and it's now 1-1.
It was all the Red Sox pitchers yesterday breaking balls in the dirt. And Austin Wells, probably his best game defensively, I think. He was locked in for playoff time, and that's his future position. That's where he wants to play. And Noah Cardenas, same deal. This is where he's best and just continues to show off a great arm and really good job behind the plate.
Quick check on Troiani. He's back easily. One and one the count to Shea Whitcomb, the UC San Diego product. Chase Walter has sat down. It's now Brady Corrigan warming up as that one's on the hop to RJ Yeager. Over to second for one, over to first, and Legend Smith rolls the double play.
It's a big double play. The one hopper tailor-made for Yeager and Hall up the middle, who made that look really routine. So that's nice that they are comfortable right there. 2 guys who are playing a little bit differently than they have been all season long. But great job by Smith to get the ground ball and get out of the inning. Now he needs his first quick inning today, a big at-bat here with Emery.
This would be huge if Smith were able to keep the pitch count down here in inning number 3.
Especially because now Whitey has the top of their order coming up. And Whitey has struck the ball well against Esqueda, just nothing to show for it. Second time through the order, I think you could see some runs pushed across.
0-1 pitch misses upstairs to Rob Emery. He drew a walk and came around to score back in the second inning. He was the first of Orleans' 3 runs. Emery does have a home run here at Red Wilson Field. Went yard to straightaway center field last time these 2 teams faced off, and that's a 2-out base hit as he grounds that one back up the middle. And Legend Smith is right back into the stretch.
He's been living there all day. It's been unfortunate for Legend Smith, but he has had to work essentially this entire game out of the stretch. Emery just does a good job rolling one through the vacated spot, a little bit of a shift on for the YD middle infield.
Now Eddie McCabe stands in, 2 men down in the inning still. Barreled up a Legend Smith offering, but right at Brad Beasley in center field, who made the nice running grab. First pitch to him, waved at and missed at the plate. Caught a quick piece of it, and it's 0-1. Emery gets a conservative lead off first. Samuelson holding him on. The 0-1. That one's a breaking ball that dots in there at the knees, and it's 0-2. This is pitch number 60 for Legend Smith. The 0-2. That one's well upstairs, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. It was a waste pitch.
Trying to get him to chase, just ended up a little bit more high and outside than he would have preferred.
Josh Zamora waits on deck. He's got a single and a run in his own right. Smith comes set at the belly button. Now delivers the 1-2. That one's in the dirt, and the count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind is blowing out here at Red Wilson, and blowing out with some gusto. You have to figure you really get one into the air, it's got a chance to carry. Already saw that with the Jacob Hurtubise triple and a ball that took off on Brad Beasley in center field. The 2-2. Swing and a miss.
They called a balk.
They're calling a balk. Scott Pickler quickly out of the dugout.
So that gets Emery up to second and no longer the strikeout. What a swing. From out of the inning to now a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. We saw yesterday Carlos Lamelli get warned for a potential balk. He was coming close. I'm not sure what Legend Smith did in this instance. Pick really looking for a question. This is now Legend Smith out talking with Jeffrey Merzel at second, and Pick behind the plate with Thomas Gandolfo.
So as you said, Brian, a potential huge swing here as the count now will be full. And now a runner on second base, so it's a 2-out RBI opportunity now for Eddie McCabe. So already both managers taking exceptions to calls made by this umpiring crew.
And I'm wondering, one of Pick's issues yesterday when he had a question with the umpires was about who made the call. And so I'm wondering if that's something similar here. It's a little different for these umpires. We're used to 3 all season. In the playoffs, we bumped that up to 4 in each crew. Pick really not pleased with that one, and you understand why. And we're not sure exactly what the umpires are saying Legend Smith did, but it's just in this moment, that is a massive call to make on something that is often not always black and white. A little bit of a judgment call, and now Pick's coming out for more.
The home plate umpire, Thomas Gandolfo, telling Pick to stop at this point. And he just said it right there. It's a judgment call.
Yep. Now the umpires are coming together. Things are getting interesting here in the third.
And you have to figure, it would be hard-pressed to overturn this call. I mean, no replay here on the Cape. It is very much a judgment call, and I can tell you right now, if this call gets reversed, Kelly Nicholson is going to blow a gasket.
Well, Pick just put this game under protest, is what just happened. And so from here on out, this game is being played under protest because Pick thinks the umpires did not properly execute the rule. And so the umpires are saying it's a judgment call. Pick is saying it's something much more black and white that Legend Smith never did. And now the umpires are coming together to have a conversation. It's a playoff game, so we have plenty of league people here in attendance. So I suppose that's
the commissioners here as well.
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing perhaps. This is getting interesting here, Andre, because Pick was adamant, and Pick does not like to get on an umpire about a judgment call. He only likes to get on umpires about things that are black and white that he feels that they missed. And he doesn't like to argue balls and strikes. He does not like to argue things like that. But if he feels that this is a misinterpretation of the rules, that is why he's putting the game under protest. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure if anyone knows the rule book on this entire state of Massachusetts better than Scott Pickler. Sorry to everybody in Boston there with the Red Sox, but definitely on Cape Cod. Pick has been around here for a long time, and not to say the umpires don't know the rules, but there is definitely something that Pick saw that he did not agree with. And this is going to be a really interesting call as the umpires still are talking.
So the delay continues. Kelly Nicholson now out to get some clarification. So we'll take a pause here.
He was protesting the game on a judgment call, which you can't do, so the protest is denied.
Getting official word now that you cannot protest a game on a judgment call, so Scott Pickler's motion has been denied. We will resume action here.
I wouldn't be shocked now if Pick comes out and wants to know, because Pick does not think this is a judgment call.
Yes.
And so the protest was denied under saying that this is a judgment call. And so that's Pick's whole issue with the entire situation. But now if you're Legend Smith, back to the attention of him, he's just had probably about a 10-minute delay.
Yep.
And so this is going to be really interesting. 2 balls and 2 strikes, not even a fresh batter, and a runner in scoring position with a big spot here.
So after all the hullabaloo, we are now back. Eddie McCabe still in a 2-2 count now with an RBI opportunity. Infield's playing him to pull. RJ Yeager's on the lip of the grass out there. 2-2. Gets him to swing over the top of the fastball, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Legend Smith gets it done.
Legend Smith gets out of it, navigates around the balk, and the 2-out base hit. It's still 4-0. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You're listening to Red Sox baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
San Luis Obispo. Number 5.
We are now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin here with you. 4-0 Firebirds as Brad Beasley, top of the order, set to lead things off here in inning number 3 for YD as they look to chip away at this Orleans lead. First pitch to Beasley is a breaking ball, a big looping curveball once again, but this time it drops out of the zone. And it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is chopped lazily on the ground. Going to be trouble. Play from Eddie McCabe, not in time. The high chopper and the speed of Beasley spelled trouble for the Orleans infield as that one ended up in no man's land up the 3rd base line. And it's an infield single to lead off the inning for Brad Beasley.
Baseball's so weird. First at bat, Brad Beasley crushed a baseball that Eddie McCabe made a great play on. This one, Beasley just rolls it up the 3rd baseline, barely got it, wasn't a great swing, and gets the hit. So he was deserved of a 1-for-2 day, and he's got it just on the opposite
backwards,
balls.
completely backwards.
Baseball's a weird one.
Had a lot of things happen in this series thus far. As Riley King's out in front of an off-speed pitch to start his AB, and it's 0-1. Certainly wasn't a standard day yesterday either. Plenty of fireworks late, some costly defensive miscues. Now a controversial balk and some awkward infield hits. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
Nothing if not entertaining, as it's now 1-1 to Riley King.
And I don't think it's 4-0 Orleans here in the third. It is early.
Yes.
This offense without Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell, but I still like what I've seen from almost everyone in this lineup one time through the order. Second time is going to be interesting.
That one chopped off the foot of Riley King at the plate, and it's now 1-2. 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for Orleans in this one. No runs. That hit from Brad Beasley, just the second hit for YD here through 2+ innings.
But, I mean, in the first inning, both Brad Beasley and Tate Samuelson smoked balls that ended up being outs. And Noah Cardenas crushed one as well to center field that Hurtubise made a great catch on. So, YD only 2 hits, but they've hit it well, I think.
1-2 pitch to Riley King. Again, chopped lazily up the line at third. They're going to hope that rolls foul, and it will. There was going to be no play on that had it stayed fair. It was basically the same chopper that Brad Beasley reached on, except for
about 5 feet farther foul.
Yeah. Escara and McCabe both opted to let it roll, and it just barely nestled in foul territory. Riley King reached on one of those yesterday. Another swinging bunt.
You know, in this infield, if it hits the lip of the grass, it more than likely is going to roll foul. We've seen that all season long, and especially in batting practice and on bunts. If you hit the lip, it's going to go foul. If you keep it in the grass, it's going to go fair. If you start it in the dirt, then you have a good chance of rolling it fair. But when it goes from grass to dirt, no chance it ever stays fair.
1-2 pitch once again to Riley King. That's a breaking ball, and it misses inside, and it's 2-2. Austin Wells, who snapped his 0 for 16, waits on deck. And this is like amongst all of the many types of praise we heap on to Austin Wells as the 2-2 pitch is incoming. That one's upstairs, and Riley King has worked the count full. I do think one of the best things about Austin Wells is the way he approaches his game and his attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, Austin Wells was kind of joking with us on the broadcast as he tends to set up shop in the on-deck circle right in front of where we're broadcasting on away games, as the payoff pitch to Riley King is sent on a line into left field, and it's a base hit, and the Red Sox have first and second, nobody down here in the bottom of the third. Beasley goes all the way to first to third on that play. Troiani had trouble handling it out there in left, and it's second and third.
Here's the top of the YD order. Soft single. Riley King has been on an absolute tear. Crushes another one to left. And just the slightest bobble for Max Troiani. Brad Beasley, Andre. We talk about he only is hitting 280, but he does the little things perhaps better than anybody else on this team. Watched the ball the whole way, got a great turnaround second, and the moment there was a bobble, knew he was going to third. No hesitation. And then Riley King running hard out of the box. Throw goes into third, moves up to second. Great job by both of those base runners.
They score that as a double for Riley King. I would have called that a single and an error, but I'm not the one making the decisions.
You could even go a single and advanced on the throw, because that's what it was. He was not going on just the bobble. We'll have to check on that.
0-1 now the count to Austin Wells. And to finish my point about Austin Wells, as he was waiting in the on-deck circle, we would be talking about Riley King in the box, and he would sort of jokingly talk about the fact that he was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and not in a self-deprecating way, but so as a way to say he's aware of what's happening, and he's aware of the fact that he's struggling, but he's not going to let him get down. He's not the type of star to where, as he sends it foul up the first base line and it's 1-2, he's not the type of star to where, oh, I'm struggling, I'm going to shut the world out, just going to be pissed off. take it out on other people. It's everyone's fault but mine. He keeps a very level head, very encouraging mindset as he continues to battle through, and I think it pays off for him.
No question. I think that loose attitude is what makes him so good. It's same Austin Wells every day.
That one's sent on a line. High hop as it gets to Whitcomb. It'll drive in a run as Beasley trots in from third. The Red Sox are on the board. It's 4-1 Orleans.
RBI ground out for Wells, and that was another one that he barreled. Got it on the barrel, just one high hop at the second baseman Whitcomb. Productive out for YD, and the inning not done. Runner in scoring position. You got to chip away, and it's going to be relying some on the bullpen today with Legend Smith having his pitch count go up early. But I think this offense is starting to really come around and figure things out after the struggles against Hyannis.
First pitch to Tate Samuelson is a fastball that misses inside, and it's 1-0. Samuelson absolutely smoked a ball to third. That was gloved by Eddie McCabe. Continuing his trend of barreled up baseballs here in the postseason. 1-0. That one's also barreled up. It's going to get into right center field. That'll bring in Riley King. Esqueda will field, get it back into the infield. Another productive out, and it's 4-2 Orleans.
Great job by Tate Samuelson. Like you said, he's just locked in right now. That's an RBI. He's 0 for 2 today, but both the balls have been hit on a line really hard from Tate Samuelson. That's a potential big addition to this lineup. That just makes it so much deeper and adds depth without Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell today.
Carson Taylor now will step in, 2 down, and the base is clear. Switch hitter batting from the right side. First pitch to the Virginia Tech Hokie is a good off-speed offering, and he was out in front, and it's 0-1. The Red Sox have halved the deficit here in inning number 3. Oh, 1 pitch is a good breaking ball. Carson Taylor's seen 2 pitches, neither of them fastballs, and he's down 0-2.
Taylor thought that was low. It was the big breaking ball again, right on the outer half. A really nice pitch from Esqueda on the mound.
0-2. That one's in the dirt, blocked by Emery, and it's now 1-2. A lot of baseball left in this game. Plenty of time for the YD lineup to figure things out. Chase Walter has resumed throwing in the YD bullpen. Corrigan now sits down. Taylor way out in front of the breaking ball there, and he's down swinging. The Red Sox get on the board with the 2 spot here in the bottom of the third. They cut the deficit in half. It's now 4-2 Firebirds. We head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Legend Smith back out for the fourth, as it's now 4-2 Firebirds here at Red Wilson Field. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Orleans here. Zamora had a single his first time through the order. As he looks at a first pitch, it's a called strike, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Smith. Check swing from Zamora. The appeal to first, yes he did, and it's 0-2.
Good start for Legend Smith. Both those pitchers are sharper than we've seen in the first couple innings. Pitch count rising, but he's back out for the fourth against the bottom part of this order.
That one upstairs spun Zamora around, and it's 1-2. Brad Beasley shaded a bit towards left center field. Zamora fouls it back to the screen, and the count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit Zamora, Esquera, and Tanner Murray. For Orleans here, this is the part of the order that did the damage against Legend Smith in the second inning. But this time, Smith wins the battle and fans Josh Zamora on the off-speed pitch. And that's the first out of the inning, back-to-back strikeouts for Legend Smith.
Felt like he was starting to figure things out in the third, was able to work around a couple of singles with a double play and a strikeout. That's a good start to the fourth, really settling in here. And the pitch count already nearing 70, but it feels like if he can get through the fourth, he'll have done his job.
First pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Esquera struck out in his first at bat, and this time grounds one back up the middle, and that's a base hit. So a 1-out single for the right fielder Esquera, and now Tanner Murray will bat with a runner on.
The shortstop from
The parade continues. Already 8 for these Firebirds. Swinging it well today, just continuing to go back up the middle. Everything's been through the middle of the infield or to center field. The approach has been spot on for Orleans.
Credit Orleans for making the adjustments against Legend Smith. He shut them down in the spot start. His first start of the summer a few weeks ago. Now the 9-hole man, Tanner Murray, he singled and scored a run in his own right back in the second inning. Steps in again and looks at a first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike 0-1. Esquera, it's got his lead off first. Ground ball should get Legend Smith out of the inning as he pumps in a fastball inside. And it's 1-1. Smith comes set, now delivers. That one misses downstairs, 2-1. And you notice as we were talking about it in between innings that we think the balk was called because he was throwing some hesitation in his windup and out of the stretch, and he would bring his leg up, kind of pause there before delivering the pitch, and we were thinking that perhaps he brought his leg down. Haven't seen it in this inning, him leaving the leg there that high. More of a slide step action as he pumps a fastball in there wide, 3-1. So perhaps a tweak in the mechanics here in inning number 4 to ensure that doesn't happen again.
He was doing it to mess with the timing of both the base runners and the hitters, but once you bring that knee up, you can't lower it back. He was kind of going back and forth with it, and that would be a balk.
3-1 pitch. That one's barreled up the other way. Beasley tracking it into right center field. He'll make the grab for the second out of the inning. And Orleans will cycle through back to the top of the lineup, and the hottest hitter probably in this lineup right now, Jacob Hurtubise.
Yeah, Hurtubise. It's been the Hurtubise game early. Great catch in center field. He's accounted for 3 of the 4 Orleans runs. Crossed the plate once, a couple of RBIs on a single as well. Just has been locked in against Legend Smith. And really in this series, Hurtubise yesterday, 1 for 4, scored a run, drove in a couple of runs as well.
First pitch to the West Point man. There's a fastball in there for a strike 0-1. Runner on first, 2 men down in the inning. Legend Smith looking to get through a clean 4th. The 0-1. Rolled on the ground. Smith's going to have to hurry, and he gets it over there in time to retire the side. Back-to-back zeros put up by the Oklahoma Sooners. We're through 3.5 here at Red Wilson Field. Still 4-2 Orleans as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Four 4-2 Orleans here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. It's game 2 of the Eastern Division semifinals as the first pitch to Eister is a breaking ball that misses downstairs, and it's 1-0. YD looking for the sweep here in game number 2. Orleans looking to send it back to historic Eldridge Park tomorrow. The 1-0 pitch, that's also downstairs, comes in at the shins of Eister, and it's 2-0. Orleans jumped out to a 4-0 lead after 2 innings of play. Legend Smith has since settled in, putting up zeros in back-to-back innings, and the YD offense looking to pick him up after putting up a 2 spot in the 3rd. Eister's now ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes.
Everything has been down in this inning for Esqueda. His pitch count's really been down all night. He's just up over 40 pitches now here in the 4th inning. Throwing a lot of strikes, but Eister early up in this count.
4-pitch walk for Andrew Eister, and the leadoff runner reaches.
Good AB for Eister. Just watches everything low, and now Cardenas, who squared one up earlier, has a chance against Esqueda.
So Cardenas, the UCLA man, steps in. Hurtubise playing very deep in center field. Really all the outfielders are playing especially deep with the wind carrying. Quick check on Eister. Not a huge threat to run. Flag out in left center field, whipping in the wind.
Really only saw that on the first play of the game on the hit by Hurtubise to center, carried over Beasley's head. Besides that, it's been a lot of hard-hit ground balls.
First pitch to Cardenas is in there at the top of the zone. It's 0-1. Good crowd on hand here at Red Wilson Field for game number 2. Plenty of people on hand, plenty of traveling Orleans fans in attendance as well. The 0-1 to Cardenas is roped foul out of play up the third base line. That'll get all the way down by the YD bullpen, and it's now 0-2. Esqueda comes set. Now delivers the 0-2. That one's upstairs at the shoulders of Cardenas. And it's now 1-2.
That changeup just stayed up for Esqueda. He hasn't used that pitch a ton today. It's been mostly the big looping curveball and the fastball for him, but tried to go changeup up 0-2 to Cardenas and just missed. I bet he comes back with potentially the breaking ball.
The breaking ball has been Esqueda's best pitch in this one. Has been able to locate it for a strike in any count. The 1-2. That one sent on a line into center field. Hurtubise ranging over. That'll drop in front of him for a base hit. Eister's going to go first to third. The throw in is high as it gets over the head of McCabe at third. Cardenas into second on the throw. And it's second and third. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Really good base running again by the Red Sox. They're creeping back into this one because of base running, Andre. They had runners on second and third when they would not have scored had they stayed on first and second last inning due to great base running by Brad Beasley and Riley King moving up on a throw. And now here, Cardenas just pokes one into right field. Really good two-strike hitting. Eister, slight hesitation, but then he takes off. Good base running to go to third, and then I don't know what Hurtubise was doing there. Lollipopped the throw into third, just a high one, nowhere near a cutoff man. And Cardenas, seeing that high throw, was able to easily move up to second base. Really good job of the two YD base runners, and now they're in business again with nobody down.
Quick conversation on the mound for Orleans.
I wonder if they're discussing here how to pitch Sam Hall and what to do if he squares around to bunt Andre. Bottom of the order here. Pick likes to put some things on. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some action with Eister on third and Hall at the plate.
Sam Hall, super utility out of Clemson. Can handle the bat well.
Sam Hall.
We've seen Scott Pickler utilize the squeeze beforehand. No sign of a square there from Hall as he takes the first pitch breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Normally if Pick likes to let his guys swing away till they see a strike. Then once he gets a strike, that's when you might see a little action. This is the pitch that could be interesting. After a breaking ball, also might see a fastball here to Hall, and that's easier to bunt.
Does square around this time, pulls the bat back though as it's low, and it's 1-1.
Now we'll see if they keep it on. Hall looking to push that up the first baseline, I think. It was a safety squeeze with Eister aggressive moving down the third baseline, but not anywhere that he could be in trouble. And now the third baseman, McCabe, creeping up on the grass. He was back initially.
Swinging away this time with Sam Hall as he ticks it foul back to the screen, and it's 1-2.
He was looking for that breaking ball. Just missed it right back to the screen, but he sat back on it beautifully. Good timing from Sam. Just couldn't do anything with it. Now this is a big pitch. Esqueda can go in a couple different directions. The changeup hasn't been there for him today. It's been mostly fastball, breaking ball.
1-2. Just misses off the plate. It was a good take from Sam Hall, and it's now 2-2.
It was a great take, a great spot from Emery and Esqueda. They set up right on that outside corner, and he hit his place. Just missed away. Good eye from Sam.
2-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. Hall kept his hands back there but rolled it foul.
He's seeing the curveball well, though, Andre. It's the timing's been good. He just hasn't been able to do anything with it. Has not been fooled when he sees that big hook. So that's a good sign for Hall. Now we'll see if Esqueda tries to, if I'm Esqueda, I'm elevating a fastball here. Trying to blow one by him and just change his sight line and maybe see if you can just get Hall a little bit late.
2-2 pitch. Brushes Sam Hall inside, and it's now a full count.
Good at bat by Sam Hall, working it full. I'd be shocked if we saw a change up here 3-2. I bet he comes back with the fastball because Hall's been right on the hook. Feels like if he throws the curveball again, Hall's going to square it up.
Yeah. Payoff pitch. Does go back to the fastball. Hall gets it on the ground. It'll score Eister. They'll go to first to record the first out of the frame. And it's now 4-3. The Red Sox continue to chip away.
Productive job by Sam Hall. Similar to last inning. Runners on second and third. The ground out gets the run in. And I tell you what, Andre, base running is bringing YD back in this ball game. Taking extra bases has gotten them really all 3 runs to this point.
R.J. Yeager steps in with the runner on third, 1 man down. First pitch to him with the infield in. Waved at and missed as Yeager was out in front of the off-speed offering from Esqueda, and it's 0-1. Infield all playing on the lip of the grass. The 0-1. That one misses, and it's 1-1 to R.J. Yeager. The Red Sox offense has come alive here in the last 2 innings of work. Scoring 2 in the third, and now 1 here with only 1 man gone in the fourth. The 1-1. Rolled up the third baseline foul. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I bet Esqueda comes back with the changeup. He got Yeager out in front of that one early here. Yeager can hit the fastball.
This would be a big-time second out for Orleans and Esqueda if they can get it. The 1-2. Chopped high on the ground, fielded by Murray at short. He has no choice but to go to first, and this ball game is tied.
Again, good base running. Cardenas read the high chop, and because it was so high up in the air, even Cardenas, who does not run all that well, is able to score with the infield drawn in. YD base running here. It's the little things that win in the playoffs, and YD's doing that, and they've evened the score back at 4.
So a pair of RBI groundouts tie this game up for YD. And the top of the order, and Brad Beasley steps in. First pitch to him misses downstairs, and it's 1-0.
Orleans has a lefty up and throwing. 3rd time through the order here for YD. Could do some damage. They've seen Esqueda well.
Two 2-0 the count now to Beasley as that one misses low and away.
And Esqueda only at 60 pitches, so the pitch count not altogether all that high, but it's that 3rd time through that probably has Kelly Nicholson and company in the first base dugout worried.
That one's lined into right field, and that'll drop for Brad Beasley, and it's a 2-out base knock, and the inning continues.
And Kelly Nicholson's going to make a change. Beasley sitting on the breaking ball, just lined it into right field for a base hit. Great job by Brad Beasley.
There's the motion from the Orleans manager. We'll take a quick break here, and on the other side, we'll tell you all about the new Orleans arm, who he is, where he's from, what he's done this year. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. The new pitcher for Orleans is Angelo Smith. And he will face Riley King to begin his outing. Angelo Smith, a member of the Michigan Wolverines, delivers a first pitch strike to the Georgia Bulldog. Batting here with 2 down in the inning and Brad Beasley on first. YD has tied this ball game up despite 3 fewer hits than the Firebirds. As Brian has mentioned, very, very good base running from YD. By and large, the reason they have been able to claw themselves back into this game.
2 times they've gone first to third, and then the throw has come into third base, and the base runners followed to second. And that is how the runs have scored. It's the little things that YD's done to get back in this game, especially on the base paths. And it's not all fast guys either. Last time was Cardenas and Eister.
Riley King smokes one into left field. Troiani going back. He's at the wall, and it's over his head and off the wall. Beasley's getting waved in. Here's the Murray's not going to make a throw, and the Red Sox take the lead. Riley King with a 2-out RBI double. Planks off the fence in left. On an 0-2 pitch, no less, and the Red Sox are in front.
YD's in business. The offense is starting to get rolling. How about Riley King these last 2 days? An RBI double here. He got the Red Sox started last night with the double. All of this coming with 2 outs. Well, this run coming with 2 outs, but the 3 spot has YD the lead. The offense living up to their name tonight against Orleans.
Austin Wells now steps in, looking to keep the line moving as Smith pumps in a first pitch fastball that's wide. It's 1-0. Smith in the regular season was really good. Got the win against YD on July 29th through 4 scoreless innings of relief. ERA was at 2.84. That outing was both his longest and probably best outing of the summer. That one in on the fists of Wells. It was fouled off at the plate, and it's 1-2.
His pitches just move in opposite directions, Andre. The slider, he throws from everything from a 3/4 arm slot. The slider starts at a lefty's shoulder and is going to break over the plate. Meanwhile, his fastball has a lot of run to it. It almost starts over the middle like it did there to Wells and cuts in right on his hands. Smith is going to get he's going to get outs, but against lefties especially going to get a lot of outs.
There's also a bit of deception in his release as Riley King's running on the pitch and Wells skies one on the infield. Shea Whitcomb's underneath it, and that'll end the inning. The Red Sox strike for 3, and we have a brand new ball game here at Red Wilson Field as they're now leading 5-4. We head to the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the 5th, back at Red Wilson Field. It's round number 1, game number 2 of the 2019 Eastern Division Semifinals here in the Cape League playoffs. YD, the home team, leading the Orleans Firebirds 5-4 entering the 5th inning. And YD is headed to the bullpen. Chase Walter out of Western Carolina making his 7th appearance of the summer, first to the playoffs for YD. He'll face Marcano, Troiani, and Whitcomb. First pitch misses low and outside to the righty Marcano. It's ball 1. Walter in relief of legend Smith. Smith went 4 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. Walked 1, struck out 4. Third time Walter has faced this Firebirds team. 1-0. Wave and a miss from Marcano. A ball and a strike. Walter's debut was against Orleans. He surrendered 5 earned runs on 4 hits against Orleans all the way back on July 13th. The 1-1. Fastball catches the inner edge to Marcano. A ball and 2 strikes. Last time out, Walter also faced the Firebirds, sandwiching his regular season. He went 2 innings, allowed 3 runs, but only 1 of those was earned. 1-2. Spikes a fastball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marcano, the 2-man in the order for Orleans. It's 2, 3, and 4 this inning. Third time through the order, first time they'll face anyone aside from legend Smith. Marcano's 1 for 2. The 2-2. Fastball spins Marcano around. He hangs right over the plate in the righty batter's box. That was a borderline pitch that both almost hit Marcano and almost caught the inside corner. Full count now with the bases clear, nobody down. Wide open stance from Marcano. Walter steps off. YD has scored 5 unanswered runs to lead it 5-4 here in the 5th. The 3-2. Yanks a fastball. Walter walks Marcano, and it's a leadoff walk to begin the 5th inning. Both offenses doing their jobs here early. 5-4 YD in the 5th. Orleans scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second. YD 2 in the third, 3 last inning in the bottom of the 4th. And now it's Max Troiani. Troiani reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and singled in the 3rd. The leading hitter in this Firebirds team, 345 average. First pitch to the righty. Fastball, called strike, knee high from Walter. It's 0-1. Last night, YD got a great relief performance from Carlos Lamelli out of the bullpen to replace YD's starter Eric Tolman. 0-1. Fastball misses. Great pick by Cardenas. A ball and a strike. Lamelli ran out of gas in the 9th, but YD was able to survive a late surge from the Firebirds to hold on and take game 1 7-6. The bullpen going to be tested again today, already entering action in the 5th. The 1-1. Slider misses away. 2 balls and a strike from Troiani. What do you think we can expect from Walter here, Andre?
I think the biggest thing is going to be keeping the walks in check. And I feel like we're beating a dead horse with that narrative in the bullpen, but it bears repeating, especially in a game like this, working with a 1-0 or 1-run lead. You have to keep traffic off the base paths because this Orleans lineup has proved that they're swinging the bat well in this game. Haven't seen really what their approach is going to be like against Walter in this one, but they've gotten to Walter the 2 times that they've faced him, and so you have to limit the extra traffic as much as you possibly can.
3-1, misses high and tight. Back-to-back walks to begin Walter's outing on the mound. Marcano moves up to second. Troiani jaunts down to first. Nobody down in the 5th. YD leading by 1. But Shea Whitcomb, the ever-dangerous second baseman and cleanup hitter, now up for the Firebirds against Walter. That's going to get YD's bullpen up and going once again. No lights here at Red Wilson. No guarantee we play 9. It has been a bit of a drag through 4+ innings today. And now a quick visit from Cardenas and YD's pitching coach Christian Wanders. YD holding a 1-run lead, looking for the sweep of these Firebirds, but Walter struggling a bit out of the bullpen. On the season, he has 13 strikeouts to 9 walks. He's been hit around a bit, 10 hits.
You're right. I mean, their roads are really
conference on the mound as Orleans has a conference up their first base line as well. Kelly Nicholson bringing his base coaches over, Jamie Quinn and Ryan Erickson, as well as both base runners Marcano and Troiani, and the man with the bat, Shea Whitcomb. Whitcomb's 0 for 2 today. The powerful man has struggled, struck out swinging in the first, and bounced into a double play in the third.
At the plate, Shea Whitcomb.
Whitcomb hit .303 in the regular season and led the Firebirds with 8 home runs. Was just 1 short of the league lead. Both Nico Cavadas and TJ Collette had 9 home runs. Whitcomb back in the batter's box. Nobody out, no count. 2 runners aboard for Orleans. Walter from the stretch, first base side of the rubber, spins and looks at second. Lifted his leg and pivoted. Nothing doing, no throw. Marcano back easily. Perhaps just seeing if the batter, Whitcomb, would move his hands up the bat. Potential sacrifice bunt situation here with runners on first and second, no outs. The pitch. Breaking ball spiked in the dirt. A great block by Cardenas. Ball 1 to Whitcomb. Walter really struggling with his command here. Back-to-back walks, Marcano and Troiani, and YD getting somebody going in a hurry in their bullpen. Walter from the stretch. The 1-0 to Whitcomb. Another ball low in the dirt. Everything low here from Chase Walter. 2 balls, no strikes. It's Jack Jett out of Hofstra, the 6'4" right-hander, tossing for YD in their bullpen.
Yeah, with a sense of urgency, too. Working with a 1-run lead, and Chase Walter unable to find the zone. You wonder how long of a leash he's going to have here in this one.
Jett only 1 appearance so far for the Red Sox, and he was outstanding in that one time out of the pen against Katuitt. The 2-0. Fastball misses just below the knees, closer to the strike zone, but still no avail from Walter. If he walks Whitcomb here, feels like his day might be done.
Which is also, it's an unfortunate situation for Jack Jett to just inherit bases loaded, nobody out. But you also, in a playoff atmosphere when every run counts, you can't continue to just leave a pitcher out there who's struggling like this.
3-0, fastball misses low, that's ball 4. 3 straight walks in the 5th for Orleans, and they are loaded with nobody down. Rob Emery will bat. At the moment, it's against Chase Walter. Pick trying to give Jack Jett every moment he can down the line. Emery coming to the batter's box, and now Pick is up off his bucket, glancing down the left field line. Here comes Pick to the mound, and I imagine that will end Chase Walter's day. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 5th for the Firebirds. YD leading by 1, and Chase Walter just did not have his command on the mound today for the Red Sox. Pick still has not yet made a signal. Slow walk out there. Jett looks like he's ready. And now he's coming in out of the pen. Pick goes to Jack Jett. Orleans has him loaded. Chase Walter, 3 walks on the day. He'll exit still leading by 1. More on Jack Jett when we return. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Red Wilson Field, we're in the middle of the top of the 5th inning. The bases are loaded. And nobody down. For Rob Emery at the plate, Jack Jett out of the bullpen for YD, the Hofstra man, making his 2nd appearance of the season, 1st in the postseason for the Red Sox. He won the only appearance he has so far when he went 3 2/3 of scoreless baseball against Katuitt. First pitch to Rob Emery. Hit hard on the ground, right at RJ Yeager at short. Throws to Hall at second. Hall sidearms to first in time. A run scores. Marcano touches home. It's even at 5, but a 6-4-3 double play induced by Jett on the first pitch he throws. That's a good sign for YD as they use their 2nd man out of the bullpen, and there's 2 outs. Still a runner on 3rd. It's Troiani there. Not out of the woods yet, but that's a great start for Jack Jett. Now Eddie McCabe, 2 down, a runner on 3rd. Things are even at 5 here in South Yarmouth. This is game 2 of the Eastern Division semifinals. YD looking for the sweep. First pitch to McCabe, misses upstairs from Jett for ball 1. Jett throws a cutter as well as 2-seam fastball and a curveball. The cutter's his go-to pitch though. Righty-righty here, the 1-0 to McCabe. There's the cut fastball. It's a called strike on the outer half to McCabe. A ball and a strike. McCabe is 0 for 2 today. He hit a line out to Brad Beasley in center, as well as a strikeout. First time facing anyone besides YD's starter, Legend Smith. The 1-1. Another fastball, called strike. Again, paint on the outside corner from Jack Jett. Chase Walter began the inning, and he walked the bases loaded. Jett out of the bullpen, able to get a double play ball, trying to limit the damage there. From the stretch, the 1-2. Cutter misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, 5-5. Orleans with their backs against the wall here in South Yarmouth. The 2-2 to McCabe. Nubbed foul up the first base line. Another 2-2 pitch coming from Jett to McCabe. Max Troiani's on 3rd base for the Firebirds. He's the go-ahead run. It's been back and forth. Orleans scored 4 runs to start it. YD has answered for 5 over the 3rd and the 4th. Now the Firebirds have evened things at 5 in the 5th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Curveball misses down and outside. Cardenas, a nice pick to hold Troiani at 3rd base. Full count with 2 down. Crowd has filled in nicely here at YD. This is a big spot in the ball game here in the 5th. The 3-2. Line drive, that's a base hit. McCabe plates Troiani with a single up the middle. Right over the head of Jett. 2 runs in the 5th for the Firebirds, and they lead it 6-5. We continue our back and forth trajectory here at Red Wilson.
Number 8, Josh Zamora.
2 down. McCabe on first for Josh Zamora, the designated hitter for Orleans. Zamora's 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 2nd off of Legend Smith. Both of those runs charged to Chase Walter. That completes his line. Did not record an out and gives up 2 runs. Jett to Zamora. First pitch breaking ball. Misses at the eyes. Ball 1.
Here we go, Jack.
McCabe on first base. Just 1 stolen bag on the season. The 1-0. Again upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. That was the fastball that stayed above the letters. 2-0. Just 1 hit and 2 runs in the inning so far for Orleans. 3 walks hurt the Red Sox. Jett still from the stretch. Here's the 2-0. Way upstairs on the fastball. It's 3 balls and no strikes. He strided off the mound after that one, and he's going to calm himself. Quick little visit behind the mound. 3 balls and no strikes. Takes a peek at first. Now the 3-0. Fastball poured in there for strike 1. Right down the middle from Jett. 3 balls and a strike to Zamora. 3 home runs. There is some pop for Zamora this season. Hit 8 on the year for Nevada. Runner on first with 2 down. Jett, long pause. The 3-1. This one's skied high in the air to left field. Austin Wells trotting towards the line. Plenty of room, and Wells makes the grab. Jett able to only surrender 2, induces a double play and a fly out to end the 5th. But Orleans takes a lead with 2 on just 1 hit in the inning. YD has the middle of their order, 4, 5, and 6. When we return, this is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, back at Red Wilson Field. It's 6-5. Orleans over YD. Samuelson, Taylor, and Eister all due up for the Red Sox. That's 4, 5, and 6 against Angelo Smith, the relief arm left-hander out of the bullpen for Orleans. It's game 2 of the 2019 playoffs. First pitch to Samuelson. The slider from Smith misses outside to the righty for ball 1. YD looking for the sweep tonight here at their home park, Red Wilson Fields. Trailing by 1-0. Line drive, base hit up the middle. Tate Samuelson having an outstanding start to these playoffs. His first hit today, but he has gotten the barrel to the baseball all 3 times at the plate. Does have an RBI on a sac fly, and it's a leadoff single for YD's first baseman here in the 5th.
Number 22, Carson.
How locked in has Tate Samuelson been at the plate, Andre? Part of the middle of this order that has really provided some life.
Yeah. I think without Tate Samuelson sort of bridging from the middle to the bottom half of the order, this would be a much different ball game right now. You could say the same thing about yesterday's contest as well.
First pitch, called strike to Carson Taylor, who's hitting from the right side. The switch hitter. It's 0-1. Yesterday, Samuelson had 2 RBIs, a 2-for-4 day in the 7-6 Red Sox victory. The 0-1. Fastball misses away to Taylor, a ball and a strike. Smith entered in the middle of the 4th inning, a 3-run inning for the Red Sox. The first batter he faced, Riley King, drove an RBI double off the wall in left, but he was able to work out of it. 1-1. Popped up by Taylor, foul territory, right side, out of play. Lands harmlessly up against the bats in the Orleans dugout. A ball and 2 strikes now to Taylor. Taylor also had a multi-hit day yesterday. This trio in the middle, Samuelson, Taylor, and Eister, have given YD some life without 2 of their all-stars today. Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell both missing and a little bit banged up. 1-2. Fastball misses away to Taylor. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Campbell has been out for both the playoff games with an ankle injury that he's nursing. Wyatt Young has been hampered by some groin tightness for about 3 weeks now. Has played through it, but needed a day off today. 2-2. Slider kicks past Emery. It's in the dirt, and Samuelson goes to second. Full count now to Taylor as he took the slider low. And YD with a runner in scoring position here in the 5th. After YD took the lead with 3 runs in the 4th, Orleans struck back with 2 runs in the 5th. We are seesawing here at Red Wilson, folks. Nobody down. 3-2 the count to Taylor. The pitch. Popped up right field. That's the right fielder Escara, now jumping in a few steps, and he makes a basket catch. Throw back to the infield, holds the base runner Samuelson at second, and it's a pop out into right field from Taylor for the first out of the 5th inning.
University of South Carolina, number 11, Andrew Eister.
Now it's Andrew Eister. He's reached twice today on an error in the 2nd by the third baseman McCabe. He walked and scored last inning in the 4th. Eister yesterday went 1 for 4, a 2-run home run as well as a walk. Has started to see the ball really well again. Smith, first pitch to Eister. He checks his swing, misses low, appeal to first, no swing, according to Rick Emerson, first base umpire today. Samuelson's on second with 1 down. It's 6-5, Orleans over YD. Andrew Eister, the wild card at the plate for the Red Sox. Here's the 1-0. Foul tip from Eister on the breaking ball, a ball and a strike. We say the wild card because first 2 weeks of the season, Andrew Eister was hitting above 500, 3 home runs. He then went into one of the biggest slides in Cape League memory. Average dropped all the way to 208, where he finished the regular season. Did not get an extra base hit over the last 6 weeks of the Cape League season. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball called strike. Nice pitch from Smith to Eister. It's a ball and 2 strikes. One down. Smith looks at second. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Eister. Base runner Samuelson at second. Bottom of the 5th inning. Smith looks in. The 2-2. Fastball misses, kicks away, but Emery able to corral it. It moved up the third baseline. If that ball goes down the first baseline, Samuelson might try to move up from second to third with just 1 out. Full count now to Andrew Eister. Angelo Smith on the hill. Been one of the better relief arms for Kelly Nicholson's group. The Michigan Wolverine, 3-2. Breaking ball, ball 4. Andrew Eister draws another walk. Runners on first and second now for the Red Sox here in the 5th. Now Noah Cardenas. He has a single and a long fly out. A leaping catch from Jacob Hurtubise at the wall. The only thing keeping Cardenas from a 2-hit day. Samuelson on second, Eister on first. Smith with an ERA sub-3 on the season for the Firebirds. First pitch to Cardenas. Ties him up in knots. He did go around, according to Thomas Gandolfo, the home plate umpire. No need to appeal. 0-1 on the breaking ball to Cardenas. Six to 5, Orleans over YD. Smith, a deep breath. The 0-1. Fastball dives low, a ball and a strike to Cardenas. Noah hit .375 this year at UCLA. Didn't see a lot of playing time early, but continued to hit in pinch hitting roles as a designated hitter and then as a catcher. Just carved out more playing time. 1-1. Swing and a foul tip. Goes back to the cage. A ball and 2 strikes. Hasn't quite gotten it going to the same variety here on the Cape. Hit .250 in the regular season. This is his first start of the Cape League playoffs with Austin Wells behind the dish yesterday. Samuelson leads from second. Eister on first. He's not being held on. Wickham shaded over to the second base bag to keep Samuelson close. He takes off. 1-2. Hit in the air. Down the left field line. That's going to get down for a hit. Samuelson scores easily. Eister to third. An RBI base hit evens the score at 6 from Noah Cardenas. A looper over the third baseman McCabe's head. A humpback liner that drops down the line in left. 2 hits on the day for Cardenas, and they're on the corners with 1 down for the Sox here in the 5th. Bottom of the order, getting things done for YD again tonight. The high-scoring affair continues here at YD. That's going to prompt a visit. Rob Emery out to talk with Angelo Smith on the mound. He's given up 2 runs in a couple of outings this year, but it was 4 straight scoreless outings for Angelo Smith entering today's ballgame. Sam Hall, the batter, he's 0 for 2 with an RBI today. And a righty is starting to toss for the Firebirds down the right field line.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar Machinery,
Noah Cardenas
and Marine Engine.
ended the season on a hot streak. 5 RBIs over his last 3 games. And now an RBI in his first start of these Cape League playoffs. Really could be 3 for 3 if not for a great catch by Jacob Hurtubise. The hit and run was on. Samuelson and Eister were both moving with the pitch. Now Emery giving signs to the infield. Cardenas doesn't move well here, but there's a potential for a bunt play. Hall can handle the bat. Perhaps another hit and run as well. Smith, the lefty, sets. First pitch, Hall squares. Curveball, called strike. Hall pulled it back. No balls and a strike to Hall. Six to 6, bottom of the 5th inning. YD leads the series here in the Cape League Eastern Division Semifinals, 1-0. The 0-1. No swing. Kicks away from Emery. Here comes Eister to the plate. He will score. YD has the lead. Emery could not handle the off-speed pitch to Hall from the arm of Angelo Smith. Cardenas to second. Eister scores. It's 7-6 Red Sox here in the 5th. Some air guns going off here at Red Wilson as YD's back on top here in inning number 5. 2 runs in the inning and just 1 out. Cardenas in scoring position for the Red Sox. Smith sets the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Hall right through a fastball. A ball and 2 strikes. Andrew Eister has scored twice today. Has been on base all 3 times. The Tate Samuelson-Andrew Eister pairing continue to spark this YD offense. Now the 1-2 to Hall. Flared down the right field line. Foul territory. It gets out of play. Still 1-2 to Sam Hall. Bottom of the 5th inning. YD leads Orleans 7-6. The other games around the Cape Cod. We've had some action going all day with Cotuit and Wareham. Cotuit blowing the doors off Wareham early. It's 10-1, middle of that ball game. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss. Hall right through the fastball from Smith, and he's down on strikes. Second out here in the 5th, and there's a runner in scoring position with 2 down for R.J. Yeager.
From Mercer University, number 17, R.J. Yeager.
Yeager's hitless today. He does have an RBI and a ground out to shortstop in the 4th. Cardenas made a great base running play. The infield was drawn in the 4th inning with Cardenas on 3rd. The high chopper to Tanner Murray. Cardenas got a great jump and score. First pitch to Yeager. This is up and outside, ball one. The ball was pounded into the ground from Yeager. Went about 20 to 30 feet in the air off the hard dirt in front of home plate. Cardenas broke right away and was able to score with a head-first dive into home. The 1-0. Breaking ball, high chopper, left side, picked by McCabe. Off balance throw to first, and they get R.J. Yeager. Cardenas stranded at second, but YD gets 2 back in the 5th on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left for the Sox. We're through 5 here at Red Wilson. YD on top, 7-6. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the sixth, YD leads it 7-6 over the Orleans Firebirds. Escara, Murray, and Hurtubise 2 up for Orleans here in the 6th inning. First pitch of the frame from Jett. A big breaking ball in there for strike 1 to Escara. Spun Escara around, but it just caught the inside corner to the lefty for strike 1. Escara, the switch hitter, hitting from the left side. Jett, in relief for YD, entered in the 5th inning with the bases loaded and no outs. He was able to get a double play, surrendered an RBI single from Eddie McCabe, and then Trevin Escara flied out. So only 2 runs came across. 0-1. Fastball, called strike right on the outside corner this time to Escara. Top of the 6th inning here at YD. The wind from Jett. And the 0-2. Fouled back and out of play. Another 0-2 pitch coming up. Through 5. We're in the top of the 6th inning. An important one for the Firebirds. It's a must-win for Orleans to keep their season alive. They trail by 1 here in the 6th. It's been back and forth all day. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Escara fans for the 2nd time today, and Jett picks up his first strikeout on the mound. He is going to continue to pitch himself into bigger opportunities. So he came in with a big spot, relatively worked out of it without much damage, and a strikeout here to start the inning. One down, bases empty for Tanner Murray. The shortstop is 1 for 2. A single, an RBI, and a run, all in the 2nd inning for Murray. Orleans led it 4-0. They also led it 6-5. Now they trail 7-6. First pitch, called strike on the curveball to Murray. Jett feeling the breaking ball here in the 6th. It was primarily his cutter that was working in the 5th inning. Now working with a 1-run lead. The bullpen silent, down both bullpens. 0-1. Breaking ball, Hit in the air, pretty deep for Murray. Right center field. Beasley going back. He looks up. It's gone! Tanner Murray evens it at 7 with a solo shot in the 6th. First home run of the playoffs, 3rd of the year for Murray. Back and forth we go, now even at 7.
As a baseball fan, these are the type of games you love. Back and forth and back and forth. Good offense. It's not sloppy baseball either. It's not like you were going back and forth because there's 6 combined errors in this one. It's just good offense, good hitting, enough pitching, timely pitching to keep it close. But this is awesome. You look at a bunch of crooked numbers on the scoreboard right now. It's great stuff.
First pitch to Jacob Hurtubise. Check swing, foul ball. Line drive down the third baseline. Almost snuck it inside the line. It's 7-7 in the top of the 6th inning. We have 18 total hits in this one between the two sides. The line from Jett. Here's the 0-1 to Hurtubise. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Bases are clear with 1 down. It was a hanging breaking ball from Jett that Tanner Murray launched out of here to right. Helped by the short fence in center. 0-2. Fouled back by Hurtubise. Just nicks a piece of the curveball. Another 0-2 pitch coming up. Short porch in center field for YD. Just 350 feet to straightaway center. And that looked like a lazy fly ball off the bat that just got out of here to right. 0-2. Fastball misses up to Hurtubise. A ball and 2 strikes. The wind might have helped that one as well. Just kept pushing the ball out to right center field. Hurtubise 2 for 3 today. A triple, a couple of RBIs, and a run. The leadoff man for the Firebirds. The 1-2. Inside, and it hit him. Jett yanked the fastball, and it's a one-out base runner on the hit by pitch to Hurtubise.
The first baseman from New Jersey Institute of Technology, number 7, Julio Marcano.
Bullpen still quiet for YD. Not a whole lot of trouble yet for Jett. 1 run allowed in the inning on the solo home run. Another hit by pitch to Hurtubise. So back-to-back men touch first base against him. One came all the way around to touch home plate. Now Julio Marcano. 1 for 2 and a walk today for the second hitter and first baseman for the Birds. Samuelson holds Hurtubise at first. This is an interesting matchup, Andre. Hurtubise, 6 stolen bases on 6 tries. For Orleans, who he only played about half the season with. And Noah Cardenas with a hose behind the plate.
Absolutely.
Let's see if Hurtubise tests Noah Cardenas. First pitch to Marcano. Fastball misses high and tight to the righty. Ball 1. Jett with a bit of a flap of his jersey coming untucked here. Flapping in the wind. He'll stride out behind home plate to retuck it in. 7-7 in the top of the 6th. Other scores around the Cape League for you. Katuitt up 10-1 over Wareham in the top of the 7th. Looks like the Cats will force Game 3 in that series, barring a major comeback. Harwich, after a no-hitter yesterday, up 4-0 on Chatham in the 3rd. Look out for the Mariners, folks. 1-0. Awkward swing. Marcano just punches it foul up the first baseline. A ball and a strike.
And how many hits has Harwich given up today?
Still 0. That's at Harwich, so we're through 12 innings of that series, and Chatham is hitless. That Angler offense has been on a slide for a couple of weeks, and the Harwich staff, the cream of the crop here in the Cape League. Check on first. Hurtubise goes back standing. 7-7 here in the 6th. And just underway in Bourne. They're the latest one to get started at Doran Park. Falmouth and Bourne are scoreless. Bourne looking to force Game 3. Jack Jett from the stretch. A ball and a strike to Marcano. The pitch. The cutter just touches the inside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. We have a great view of that cutter here from behind home plate. That is a pitch right around 90 miles an hour with serious lateral movement from Jack Jett on the mound. Couples it with a big 12-6 vertical drop of a curveball. The 1-2. Fastball called strike 3. Jett freezes Marcano for the second out of the 6th. Got him on the heater. And there's 2 down with Hurtubise aboard first.
The left fielder from Bentley
Second strikeout for
University,
Jett
number
today.
32,
6th of the Whitey staff. And this Whitey pitching staff led the Cape League in strikeouts over the regular season. And this Firebirds offense struck out more than any other group. Double-digit strikeouts yesterday for Whitey. First pitch to Max Troiani, called strike, knee high on the fastball, 0-1. We have runs scored here in 4 straight half innings on the scoreboard. 7-7 between Whitey. Hurtubise takes off, swing and a miss. Cardenas throw to Hall. Not in time. Hurtubise slides around the tag, but we have runner's interference at home plate. Batter interference on Troiani. He swings and misses. Cardenas' throw to second was late, but the call ends the inning. Thomas Gandolfo makes the call to end the frame. Kelly Nicholson is not pleased, but that ends the visitor half of the 6th. 1 run in the inning from Orleans on the solo shot from Tanner Murray to right center. Catcher's interference on Troiani ends the inning 7-7 through 6.5. It's the top of the Whitey order coming up when we return. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 6th. It's the first round of the 2019 playoffs. First pitch of the 6th inning to Brad Beasley. Misses high for ball 1 to the Red Sox center fielder. It's 7-7 as we enter the 6th, bottom of the 6th inning. Still the lefty, Angelo Smith, out there for Orleans. 1-0 fastball, misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Beasley. Top of the Whitey order here in the 6th inning. Beasley, King, and Wells all due for the Sox. The 2-0. Beasley takes a fastball, called strike on the outside corner. 2-1 to Beasley. Beasley scored twice today on a couple of hits. An infield single to third and a line drive to right. 2-1, wave and a miss over a breaking ball. Great slider from Smith. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7 apiece as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. We have gone back and forth in every which way here tonight at Red Wilson Field, folks. Here's the 2-2 to Beasley. Slider just down low, and it's a full count. Base is clear, nobody down as Beasley leads off the 6th. Smith really working quickly. Has the ball back, winds, and the payoff pitch. Fastball bounced foul by Beasley. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. YD has scored runs in 3 straight innings. Orleans scored 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to even things. 3-2. Misses upstairs, and a leadoff walk to Brad Beasley gets YD started here in the 6th inning. 3 straight innings for YD make it 5 straight, actually, as Eister did reach on an error in the 4th inning for YD. 5 straight innings where their leadoff man has reached, and that's going to end the day for Angelo Smith. Kelly Nicholson out of the dugout to the pen, a righty for Orleans coming up. It's 7-7. More of the 6th when we return. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, no outs, and Brad Beasley on first for the YD Red Sox. We're coming out of a pitching change for the Orleans Firebirds. Justin Showalter, the James Madison University pitcher, coming out of the pen for the Firebirds to face Riley King here in the 6th inning. 7 runs apiece between Orleans and YD. The righty Showalter comes in with a 3.85 ERA in the regular season, making his playoff debut here for Orleans. Riley King to the plate. He's 2 for 2 today. Scored a run, also has an RBI, and has absolutely crushed Firebird pitching here in the playoffs. Showalter, the righty, comes set. First pitch to King. Fastball misses outside for ball 1. Riley King, who hit over 400 against lefties in the regular season, has kept that going against the Southpaws for the Firebirds here in this 2019 playoff run. Yesterday had a couple of hits and 2 hits to get his day started today. The 1-0. Slider misses down and away. 2 balls, no strikes to King. Beasley on first after a leadoff walk in the 6th against Angelo Smith. Smith goes an inning and a third, 3 hits. His line is not yet complete as Beasley is his responsibility. The 2-0. Showalter misses low. 3 balls and no strikes to King. We're even at 7 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. YD on top in the series, 1-0 over Orleans. If they win tonight, they can get the sweep and perhaps have a day off tomorrow, depending what else happens around the Cape League. Here's the 3-0. Fastball misses outside, and a rough start for Justin Showalter. A 4-pitch walk to begin his outing against Riley King. And now finally, Austin Wells gets to face a righty. Runners on first and second. The big lefty for YD has been facing Southpaws for it feels like years. Last couple games has seen nothing but the big lefties for Orleans as well as Hyannis dating back to the regular season. Wells is 1 for 3 today. A single and an RBI for him. Nobody down, runners on first and second for the Red Sox. They've scored in 3 straight innings. Showalter, first pitch to Wells. Fastball, a called strike on the inner half to the lefty, 0-1. Austin Wells honored earlier today pregame as the McNeese Outstanding Pro Prospect of the Cape Cod Baseball League. A league full of the top prospects in the country and an outstanding honor for the Arizona Wildcat. 0-1. Fastball misses away, a ball and a strike. Last year, that award went to J.J. Blade of the Orleans Firebirds. and then he went number 4 in this year's MLB draft to the Miami Marlins. So you know that award means something serious. Picked by the Cape League scouts. Showalter steps off the mound, has to retoe the rubber, wants a new sign from Emery behind the plate. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-1 to Wells. Fastball misses low, blocked from Emery. He falls down backwards to his backside, but pops back up to hold Beasley at second, King at first. Wells, 7 home runs in the regular season for YD. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss over a slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wells chased one down and inside from Showalter, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to lay off for Austin Wells. That was a perfectly executed back foot slider there. Started over the heart of the plate and just continued to tail in towards the back foot of Austin Wells in the left-hander's batter's box.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Fastball just fouled off by Wells. That might have been a changeup, actually, from Showalter on the outer half. Wells just got the very end of his wooden bat to it and sent it back to the cage behind home plate. 7-7, Orleans and YD. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody out. YD looking to take the lead. Great speed on second and Beasley. King not being held at first. The 2-2. Ground ball, right side. Whitcomb has it. Shuffles to second, 1. Throw to first, nothing. Throw behind Beasley, not in time to third. He's back with the head first slide. A slowly developing play. Whitcomb got it. Got the ball to Murray at second. He pump faked to first, but Wells, who moves well, beat it down the line. The pivot then from Murray, and he threw behind Beasley, but a nice backdoor slide from Beasley. He's safe at third. Runners on the corners, 1 down, and if you're YD, who else do you want at the plate but Tate Samuelson? 1 for 3 today, but an RBI and 3 balls that he has absolutely hammered right on the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that if you would have told any of us a couple weeks ago that the guy you want up in the late game situation in the postseason was going to be Tate Samuelson, I'm not quite sure what our reaction would have been, but it wouldn't have been unbelievable agreeance.
First pitch, he does it again. Ropes it up the middle. That's a base hit. Tate Samuelson is en fuego in the playoffs. An RBI hit to give YD the 8-7 lead here in the 6th. 2 hits and 2 RBIs yesterday. He's got 2 knocks and 2 more RBIs today. Tate Samuelson cannot be stopped. Wells moves up to second. Beasley scores from third. Man, oh man, Tate Samuelson is feeling it. Does not matter what you throw to him, who is throwing to him. First pitch now to Carson Taylor. Misses down and away to the switch hitter from the left side. Ball 1 to Taylor. Wells on second, Samuelson on first. 8-7, YD the lead in the 6th. Taylor's hitless today. Showalter misses down and in to Taylor. That's 2 balls and no strikes. Taylor from the left side. First time today he's faced a righty. The 2-0. High chopper, fielded by the first baseman Marcano. He'll flip, throw to first, double play. Bang, bang play at first. Marcano went to second for 1. The relay to first was just in time to get Taylor. Great play by Marcano on the slow developing roller. The soft flip to second. I didn't think they had a chance at first, but they rolled a double play to get out of it. YD scores for the 4th straight inning. They get 1 on the Samuelson single up the middle. 8-7 to the 7th inning we go here at Red Wilson. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 7th, YD on top over Orleans 8-7. As we begin the 7th inning, Shea Whitcomb, Rob Emery, and Eddie McCabe. That's 4, 5, and 6 due for the Firebirds here in this 7th inning. They'll face Jack Jett in his 3rd inning of work in relief for the Red Sox out of the bullpen. He has been really good. The only run he's allowed on a solo home run last inning to Tanner Murray. The wind from Jett. First pitch to Whitcomb. Fastball misses high and away to the righty for ball 1. That solo home run at the moment tied the game at 7 for the Firebirds. This is a must-win game here for Orleans. Backs against the wall in the 2019 Cape League playoffs. Trailing YD 1-0 in the opening round. 1-0. Swing and a miss from Whitcomb. The ball and a strike. YD took the opening game in round 1 last night, 7-6 over the Firebirds. It was a nail-biter. Orleans scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th to almost come back and beat the Sox. The 1-1. Slider misses away to Whitcomb. 2 balls and a strike. Shift is on for the YD infield. Sam Hall, the second baseman, directly up the middle. Yeager in the hole at shortstop. Samuelson, the only man on the first base side. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss through the cutter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 8-7, YD leads Orleans. Best of 3 series here. All throughout the Cape League playoffs. Rounds 1, 2, and 3, the championship round. All best of 3. YD looking for the sweep. Jett from the windup. Here's the 2-2 to Whitcomb. Whitcomb just lays off a pitch that misses down and away. The count is full. YD's bullpen relatively silent. Orleans has the righty up and tossing. Jett working with just a 1-run cushion. Long looking out on the mound. Gets his sign from Cardenas. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ground ball, third base side. Picked by the third baseman King. A nice scoop. Throw to first in time. A low throw, but Samuelson catches it just above the dirt for the first out here in the 7th inning. Riley King has played outstanding defense at third base all season long, and it has not stopped here in the playoffs. First batter grounds out, and there's 1 down here in the 7th. YD still leading by 1. We have now had runs in 5 straight half innings. Starting in the bottom of the 4th inning when YD scored 3. Orleans answered with 2 in the top of the 5th. YD then mirrored them with 2 runs. 1 run in the 6th for Orleans. YD, again, answered with 1 in their half of the 6th. First pitch to Rob Emery, called strike. Jack Jett is really cooking with the cutter right now. 0-1. Emery has a hit today, scored a run after walking in the 2nd, also an RBI ground out in the 5th. Low crouch from the right side. Here's the 0-1. Cutter just off the plate inside, a ball and a strike. Jett worked 3 2/3 innings against Katua in his only other appearance this season, so we know he can go some distance. Last night, YD got over 3 innings of great relief from Carlos Lamelli, looking to do so again here from Jett. 1-1, line drive, that's a base hit up the middle. We have seen a lot of balls back up the middle for hits today. That's a clean single from Rob Emery, his 2nd knock today, and a man aboard for the Firebirds here in the 7th.
20 combined hits in this one, a lot of them hard hit, barreled up baseballs for both sides. Sometimes we'll see the hit column increased, inflated due to some seeing eye singles, some bloops that fall in the Bermuda Triangle areas in left and right field. But everything today just seems to be squared up, back up the middle, line drive, up and down both these lineups.
Now Eddie McCabe, a man on first and 1 down. 11 hits for the Firebirds, 9 hits for the Red Sox. YD leads it 8-7 here in the 7th inning. Outfield's playing McCabe just a bit the other way. Beasley shaded into the right center gap. He's 1 for 3 with a run-scoring single in the 5th. Wants time and gets it. Jett steps off, and he wants a visit with Cardenas. Waved the glove out at Noah to come and have a chat. Big inning here. The shadows are starting to set in here at Red Wilson Field. No lights in South Yarmouth. Started this game about an hour earlier than normal first pitch time. First pitch coming in at 4. Generally, we have a first pitch time of 5 o'clock for Whitey Red Sox games. Trying to make sure we would get all 9 innings in. Sunset, I would imagine, is right around 8 o'clock. Generally giving us light here at YD until about 7:40, 7:50. So a little over an hour, I would think, of game time left. We're in the 7th. First pitch to McCabe, called strike on the outside corner. Hits 0-1. McCabe thought it missed away. Jett from the stretch. Emery on first base. Not a big base stealing threat. Didn't have one all season. No balls and a strike to McCabe. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Right through the breaking ball. 0-2. Jett to McCabe. Jett, the third pitcher Whitey has used today. Legend Smith started and went 4. Chase Walter came in and could not get an out. He walked 3 straight, but then Jett came out of the bullpen and shut things down. Only 2 of those base runners that Walter allowed to reach came around to score. 0-2 the count to McCabe. The pitch. Slow roller up the third base line. Charging King. He'll throw to first to get the base runner McCabe. Emery advances to second on the high bouncer. 2 down in the 7th. Emery in scoring position for Josh Zamora, who has 1 hit today. Both ground outs to Riley King here in the inning. Has continued to play stellar defense.
From Kansas State University, number 16, Zach Kokoska.
Pinch hitter now for the Firebirds, Zach Kokoska. The Kansas State Wildcat comes in here in the 7th. Zamora was hitting just 136 on the season prior to today's ball game. The average goes up with 1 hit in 3 tries. Kokoska hits from the left side. We saw him play yesterday for the Firebirds. He pinch hit late, had a couple of plate appearances, 2 walks, scored a run. Emery on second. First pitch to Kokoska. Flared right at Yeager. He makes the catch. The shortstop, R.J. Yeager, moving into the hole. Jett jams Kokoska and works a scoreless 7th, something we haven't seen often here today at the Red. It's 8-7, Red Sox, and stretch time at Red Wilson. YD leads by 1, bottom of the 7th. Coming up next, this is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
And Drew Eister steps to the plate. YD winning this seesaw battle 8-7. We are into the bottom of the 7th inning in at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. It's the first pitch to Andrew Eister, misses, and it's 1-0. Out in front of an off-speed pitch, Eister waves and misses, and it's 1-1. Eister scored a couple runs in this one, been on base all 3 times. Doesn't have a hit, though. Reached on an error and has drawn 2 walks. Had the 2-run home run in yesterday's contest as he once again is out in front of the same breaking ball, and it's now 1-2. Noah Cardenas waits on deck, who has one of the dirtiest uniforms I think I've seen on any Red Sox player this summer.
He's been working today. It's been a great day for Noah.
The 1-2 went to the breaking pitch a 3rd time. This time Eister spits on it, and it's now 2-2.
I would agree. There's been some dirty ones, but Noah Cardenas today, all up the front, pants, jersey. That'll happen when you have a couple of hits as well as catching.
Down on strike swinging is Andrew Eister. He's retired for the 2nd time today officially. First out of the inning for YD, and Cardenas now strides to the plate.
Noah Cardenas.
Noah Cardenas, I think, might be the unsung hero of today's game, Andre. Tate Samuelson and Riley King probably are getting the headlines, as well as Brad Beasley, who scored 3 times, but Noah Cardenas, 2 for 3, and the 1 out, he hit it really well and has been outstanding behind the plate.
First pitch also over the top of the breaking ball. They can't locate it here in the 7th inning, and it's 0-1. Cardenas has been excellent this evening. Really a team effort here for the Red Sox in game number 2. It's been the same pitch for Showalter, 5 pitches in a row.
All that slider diving down and away from these Red Sox righties.
Neither Eister or Cardenas able to lay off. The 0-2. That one, Cardenas squares up. Hurtaby's coming in, but he's going to be unable to make the play as it drops just in front of him in center field. And it's a 1-out base hit.
I don't think Cardenas really got all of it. It was well done to just stay through the middle, but I think it was off the end of the bat. And Hurtaby's broke directly to his left before then realizing, oh, that's a lot softer than I initially thought. Had to charge inwards and couldn't get there in time. This is the Cardenas that was at UCLA all spring. 3 for 4 today, is hitting the ball well and playing really good defense. What a weapon he can be for YD if he stays hot.
First pitch back to that slider, and Sam Hall waves over the top of it, and it's 0-1. That is a plus pitch.
Really is.
For Showalter.
Especially to these righties. Hard to lay off. Looks like it's in the middle. They've been seeing lefties all day. Ends up diving down and away to you.
Hall squares to bunt, gets it down in front of home plate. Emery will let it roll foul as it just nestles in between the chalk of the batter's box and the 3rd base line. And Sam Hall is behind 0-2.
Just couldn't get it out in front of home plate enough. Would have had a chance for a hit, had he been able to push it just a little bit farther. It's a part of Sam's game that is really important, being able to utilize his speed, but today he's been neutralized.
Hall steps back in now with Cardenas on first. 8-7 Red Sox here. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Already approaching 3 hours of game time as both of these games have gone very long. Cardenas is hung out to dry, but Emery didn't realize it. And he's back to the bag, awkwardly stumbling.
He's laughing about it, too, down the first baseline because he ends up being safe. Thought about trying to test Emery, who has at times been stolen on a lot this year by some teams. People think you might be able to take advantage of his arm, but Cardenas doesn't run all that well, elects just to stay at first.
Had Emery realized that Cardenas was a few steps off the line at first, probably could have gotten him with the back pick as Sam Hall goes down swinging. That's the second out of the frame. So 2 strikeouts here, sandwiched around the Cardenas 1-out single. And R.J. Yeager, the 9-hole man, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3 on the day.
Similar to Hall, does have an RBI and a ground out today, but they've both struggled at the back end of this YD order. Both in there for probably Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell.
First pitch to him is the slider. This time it's located on the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
Both those guys out today with some injuries. Campbell still hindered by a bit of an ankle, and Wyatt Young has been battling some groin tightness for weeks. He had to take a day off today.
Flared out into shallow right field. Escada coming out. It drops in as it ticks off the glove of Shea Whitcomb. Cardenas goes all the way to third. It's a 2-out base knock for R.J. Yeager.
That'll be an interesting one to rule. Just kept drifting down the right field line. Whitcomb listed as an outfielder. Probably should have made the play. Just couldn't quite reel it in. I think they're going to give him an error. The Yeager's aboard, and runner on the corners now for Brad Beasley, who has scored 3 times and has a couple hits today. Looks like that's going to end the day for Showalter.
So Nicholson has taken the ball from Justin Showalter as we've got a new arm coming in. It's a righty. We'll tell you all about who he is, where he's from, and the rest of his numbers on the other side of this break. We'll be back on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Brad Beasley bats in a crucial opportunity to knock in a couple of insurance runs with runners on the corners, and he'll face Connor Pellerin out of the bullpen, and his first pitch buzzes Beasley back as it's a little bit of chin music, and it's 1-0.
Big right-hander out of Tulane. He has been dominant for Orleans this summer. 13 appearances, no earned runs. They know they need to limit this game, and this is a huge spot.
Beasley fouls it straight back to the screen, and it's 1-1.
YD looking for insurance in the 7th. Cardenas on third base with 2 down, and it was a quick hook for Justin Showalter, who really didn't pitch that badly, but down that first baseline, Kelly Nicholson knows that it's time to try to slam the door here, and that's why you're seeing Pellerin. Must win. Everybody's available.
Another one that comes inside. Beasley tried to turn into it, but it missed him, and it's 2-1.
That's why that play down the right field line, the dropped ball by Whitcomb, looms large, because that allowed the inning to continue for the top of the order.
That one misses upstairs. Beasley thought he kept his hands back, but Rick Emerson over at first says yes he did, and the count evens 2-2. Deuce is wild now. 2 on, 2 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Big pitch.
Pellerin looking to get out of the jam. Yeager runs. That one's fouled back to the screen, and it's still 2-2.
They might just let Yeager take second if he runs again. But then if Beasley can split a gap somewhere, then Yeager's scoring, and it's a 3-run ballgame. Big strikeout guy, Pellerin. Almost 2 strikeouts to every inning he's worked on the mound.
2-2 pitch is sliced foul. Yeager was off with the pitch once again. He's getting his cardio in for the day. It's still 2-2.
Yeah, he kind of slipped on takeoff that time too.
Beasley in a battle. 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for Orleans, 8 runs, 10 hits for the Red Sox. Beasley hooks it foul down the left field line. That pinball's over there off some fans. And it's still 2-2. Two-two pitch from Pellerin. Yeager a third time is off. Pellerin thought he rung up Beasley. It dropped in on the outside corner, but Gondolfo says it was wide. Kelly Nicholson is irate. Keep yelling at him to tighten up his strike zone. Payoff pitch. Beasley smokes it into center field. That one is off the wall. 2 runs will score. Beasley trots into second. Kelly Nicholson has fuming as that ball 3 looms large. Beasley with a big-time 2 RBI double, and it's 10-7 Red Sox.
Brad Beasley, have a day. Couple of RBIs, a 3-hit day, 3 runs for Bees. What a battle that was. Nicholson is not pleased with Gondolfo. It was a borderline pitch, no doubt. Gondolfo flinched a little bit, Andre, which probably made it look worse than it was, but it was very close, no doubt. But I'll give Beasley credit. He has a great eye for the strike zone, and that is a massive pitch.
Kelly Nicholson still having words with Gondolfo, who's had his fair share of criticism from both managers in this one.
Different reasons. Nicholson's been a bit more upset with the strike zone today. He just keeps saying, that's it right now. He wants no more. I tell you what, it was a borderline pitch, but I did not think it was an obvious strike call, to say the least.
It absolutely froze Beasley. He was buckled on the play. No chance to pull the trigger on that one, but everyone on the field thought it was strike 3 except for Thomas Gondolfo behind the dish. And it's a brand new ball game here now. 10-7 lead for YD. Riley King now bats. Absolutely rocketed an RBI double back in the 4th. 0-1 pitch. Cut on and missed, and it's now 0-2.
YD fans are fired up after that double for Beasley. It's such a big moment in the game because it gives YD insurance. Coming off the pitch prior makes it feel even larger.
Has that sort of dagger feel in it. That one, once again, borderline.
Looked like the same pitch that was called a ball to Beasley, so perhaps consistency there.
Yes.
But both those, they are very close.
That one appeared to be a little bit lower. No flinch from Gondolfo that time. On the ground, left side. Murray on the backhand. The Jeter-esque throw, not in time as it bounces in to Marcano on a couple hops, and it's runners on the corners now, and Austin Wells will stride to the plate.
How about these two at the top of the order? Brad Beasley and Riley King are having a day. Both 3-hit days now between those two, and they just continue to get hits. What a move by Scott Pickler. These two have not batted 1-2 all season long, back-to-back, and Pick's move coming through again. For whatever reason, he just makes the right move come playoff time, it feels like. First time all year that's been the 1-2 batting order today, and they both have 3 hits.
Austin Wells is now at the dish, singled way back in the first inning, which feels like an eternity ago. First pitch to him is a fastball that misses low, 1-0.
And if YD ends up winning this game, Orleans is going to be kicking themselves because they would have gotten beaten twice by the Red Sox, and in 2 games, the trio of Campbell, Wells, and Young might just get 1 hit.
1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss from Wells at the dish, and it's 1-1.
It's tough to swallow when everybody else comes through to beat you, but today it has been Beasley, King, Samuelson, and the bottom of this Red Sox order, Eister, Cardenas, especially. It's been the role players, and we knew for YD to win in the playoffs, it was going to have to be those role guys.
The other way on the ground, Tanner Murray gets underneath his glove, and Beasley will score. Figures to be an E6, and it is.
Second error of the inning.
Second error of the inning, and the wheels starting to fall off for Orleans. It's 11-7 Red Sox.
I'll tell you this, Andre. Orleans is going to look at that non-called strike 3 to Brad Beasley. I look at the error on Shea Whitcomb down the right field line before I look at that error. If Whitcomb makes that catch on R.J. Yeager, then YD's maybe hottest hitter and Brad Beasley doesn't even come to the plate. The defense is unraveled more so than anything, and that's the first run since July 3rd in a month against Pellerin on the mound. It's going to be an unearned run due to the errors, but he is getting touched up for the first time today. And despite the borderline pitch to Beasley, then the next pitch was still left right over the middle, and Beasley did damage.
You know what else I look at in the context of this game, Brian? I look at the catcher's interference call on Troiani.
Yeah.
Back in the 6th, because Hurtubise had swiped second clean. Yes, there were 2 outs, but that's still a runner on second base with your best hitter at the plate in Troiani with an opportunity to tie the game.
That was an opportunity to go ahead. They tied it earlier in that inning.
That was after the home run from Tanner Murray, which made it 7-7.
That's right.
Opportunity to take the lead there, 8-7, had that interference call not been made.
Look who's up at the plate now, Andre.
Tate Samuelson steps in now with 2 runners on. First pitch is a slider that misses downstairs, and it's 1-0.
He's looking to join Beasley and King on a 3-hit day. But all 4 of Samuelson's at-bats have been absolutely crushed. Beasley with 4 runs. King has driven in a ton of runs.
1-0 pitch. Samuelson fouls it back. He was on it, and it's 1-1.
Just seeing the ball well.
That ball's got to look like a beach ball to Tate Samuelson right now.
To Beasley, King, and Samuelson.
We talked about it in the open, who was going to be the one to step up.
It's been a lot.
I challenged Brad Beasley to really be a table setter at the top of the order. What do you want your leadoff man to do? You want him to get on, and you want him to score runs. Can't argue with 4 times on base and score to each and every one of them.
Nope.
Both runners are going. The throw from Emery is not in time. Riley King and Austin Wells perfectly execute the double steal. And now it's second and third for Tate Samuelson, and it's 2-1.
Really good jump by Riley King against Pellerin. They timed it up, and now this would be the dagger. 4 runs feels like it's doable after last night for Orleans, but it feels like if Samuelson gets a hit here. Of course, they almost came back down 6 last night, so I suppose never say never, but emotionally at home feels like a huge chance.
1-2 pitch. Samuelson is down swinging, and that'll end the inning. YD plates 3 crucial runs after a controversial strike 3 no call. It ended up being an 2 RBI double for Brad Beasley. It's now 11-7 Red Sox. We head to the top of the 8th. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. First pitch from Mr. Jett, still out there on the mound, is upstairs, and it's now 1-0. It's Escara, Murray, and Hurtubise. 8-9-1 for the Firebirds here in the top of the 8th inning. Escara skies it foul and out of play, and it's now 1-1. The Katuba Kettleers are taking it to the Wareham Gatemen.
It's putting it
here in game
mildly.
number 2. They've only allowed a safety for the Gatemen. It's 21-2. Nick Gonzalez got 3 touchdown passes in this one.
Mervis a catch in the end zone.
Yep.
21-2, that's a lot.
Arajanu got 125 reception yards in this one.
I think Gonzalez is the running back in this instance.
Gonzalez does profile as a running back.
Anu is a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
I think maybe Mervis, he's a two-way guy, so he's the quarterback.
That one is roped. And Escara beats the shift. It's a leadoff single. Exactly the start you want. If you're Orleans, looking to get back in this one, 12th hit of the game for the Firebirds. And now Tanner Murray will come to the plate. He's got 2 hits.
University of California, Davis. Number 41, Tanner Murray.
So a leadoff base hit. We'll get Jacob Winger up and throwing in the YD bullpen.
He's one of your 2 back-end guys, him and Carvajal. Carvajal had an extensive outing last night.
First pitch to Murray's on the ground towards Hall at second base. To Yeager for 1, over to first. 4-6-3, and it's a double play to erase the leadoff hit.
Man, those 2 might be kind of filling in for Young and Campbell, but they have answered any questions defensively tonight. Last night, Hall had a pretty bad air, but they've turned a couple double plays up the middle today, Andre, that 7 runs across. It could be more without the double plays they've turned.
Absolutely. The pair has rolled 3 double plays in this ball game.
Yep.
One in the third to erase a leadoff hit. One in the fifth when Jett entered the game. That was big time. And then this one now in the eighth to erase a leadoff hit.
That one in the fifth was with the bases loaded. They rolled it. That was probably the biggest. This one just kind of all of a sudden 2 outs in the eighth really feels like it's big, but I look back at the one in the fifth, that looms large.
That one back up the middle. Yeager ranging to his left. The throw on the run is in time. Great defensive inning for the middle infield. Jett goes 1, 2, 3. We head to the bottom of the eighth. It's still 11-7. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. – 11-7 Red Sox. We're into the bottom of the eighth inning. Red Sox looking for the sweep. First pitch from Pellerin to Carson Taylor is the slider that misses downstairs, and it's 1-0. Taylor on the ground up the middle. Whitcomb over to his right. He'll throw across his body to first, and that's the first out of the inning. Taylor's retired 4-3.
Pellerin's really good on the mound. He allows an earned a run last half inning, but was unearned. So everybody's going to look back to that called strike 3 that was not a called strike 3 to Beasley. But I'm looking at the 2 errors in the inning more than anything for Orleans. All 3 of the runs in the inning are unearned. That's not on the pitcher. That's not on even the umpire. That's on your defense, allowing those errors and allowing the base runners. And now YD's going to pinch hit here for Eister Wold against the righty.
Wold pinch hitting here. Came in yesterday's contest, got a pinch hit double. As he's quickly ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
He's got to be sitting fastball. Wold, great power, trying to lift it in the air to center field.
Fouled straight back into the screen.
I had a play on that.
One of us did. He was going to come through one of these windows that we have open. Swing and a miss from Wold, and from 2-0 up, he's now back even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And from 2-0 up, Wold is now down on strikes, and that's the second out of the inning for Pellerin.
The catcher from UCLA, number 8, Noah Cardenas.
Cardenas will now bat. He's had a good day at the plate. 3 hits, a run, and an RBI. First pitch to the catcher from UCLA. That's a breaking ball that spins him around but drops in for a strike. And it's 0-1. Serious movement on that pitch from Pellerin.
That's a nasty pitch. Borderline on the inside corner. Cardenas thought it missed in, but that's a lot of break.
Quickly 0-2 now from Cardenas. The 0-2 offering. On the ground, Cardenas has a 4-hit day, and it's a 2-out base hit.
All 4 singles, but man, Noah Cardenas is seeing the ball some type of way at the plate right now. After that first pitch breaking ball, Pellerin, of course, was going to go back to the hook, and Cardenas saw it, kept fouling it off, and then just squeaked it through the left side. Great adjustment and way to see the baseball by Noah Cardenas.
Sam Hall now steps in. 8-hole hitters, had a fantastic day defensively. First pitch to him is a fastball that misses away, and it's 1-0. Every borderline pitch now, I just feel it's like instinct to look and see if Kelly Nicholson has something to say about it.
Yeah.
1-0 pitch. That one's upstairs at the shoulders of Hall. And it's 2-0. Hall spoils it foul, and it's 2-1.
Who do you think TJ is going to pick for a post-game interview if Whitey holds on?
He's got a lot of options here. My gut says Brad Beasley, but I think he's going to go Tate Samuelson. I think those are, in a game in which a lot of people had great days, those are the two that really stand out for me. Maybe a little combo interview action.
Oh, Beasley with 4 runs and 3 hits. Riley King, perfect 3 for 3 and 2 walks. He's reached in every time. Noah Cardenas, 4 for 5. That's a sleeper. Couple of runs and a ribby.
Jack Jett out of the bullpen.
I was going to say, if you want to go the pitcher route, Jack Jett, 4 one-run innings.
The hook gets Sam Hall looking as it drops in at the top of the zone. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Red Sox go down quietly, 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th. It's the first time both teams, it is the first time both teams have been held scoreless in an inning in this ball game.
Wow.
As we head to the top of the 9th inning. It's still Jack Jett on the mound. 11-7 Red Sox. We'll be right back. 2, 3, 4 are the final hopes for Orleans here as their season is on the line. YD looking to pull the sweep. 2 sweeps potentially incoming in the Eastern Division. His first pitch swinging is Marcano. He grounds to Yeager at short. Goes across the diamond to Samuelson, and that's the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jack Jett. And the Red Sox are 2 outs away from advancing to the Eastern Division Finals. 1 defensive change in the inning for YD as Jake Palmer has entered the game in left field. Right field. Harwich still up 4-0 over the Anglers. They have allowed a hit, folks.
Just the one.
Just the one, but they have allowed a hit. First pitch to Max Troiani's in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1.
Nick Stewart out of the pen for the Mariners. So no Joe Boyle yet. He went 3 yesterday. Season on the line. I wonder if they can use him for another one tonight.
The sweep would ensure the off day for both squads, as with Katuitt walloping Wareham right now. That will ensure an off day for anyone who does pull the sweep.
Fun nugget for YD fans. Riley Tirada had the go-ahead hit for Harwich tonight. He's got a 1-for-3 to end a run. Drove in a couple runs with that knock.
You love to see that for Riley Tirada.
Yep.
One of the favorites of us in the YD media team.
It's just a really hard-working guy, somebody to root for.
Always had a smile on his face. Always happy to see us. 1-2 to Troiani. On the ground, another chance for Yeager. He comes in crashing hard. The throw to first. Not in time as Troiani legs it out. It was going to be a tough play for Yeager. He did all that he could to get Troiani. It was a strong throw across the diamond on the run. Just enough lack of pace on that one for Troiani to reach.
Troiani's got great speed. RJ Yeager did everything right there. Charged hard immediately. As soon as he gloved, he was throwing it. That's just a great hustle single for Max Troiani. Another multi-hit day for him. He led the league in multi-hit days this year.
Shea Whitcomb now steps in. He had a single back in the 5th inning. First pitch from Jett is a breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Double play sends YD to the Eastern Division Finals. That one splits the wickets of Cardenas behind the plate. Troiani will jog on over to second base, and it's 1-1.
First time today one's gotten past Noah Cardenas. He's been a brick wall. 4-hit day and a great defensive outing. Has to feel good for Noah Cardenas, who has at times this year struggled blocking the balls a little bit, struggled with the bat, but he has been great on both those accounts today. Maybe he wants Troiani to go to third so he can try to show off the arm and pick him off here.
1-1 pitch from Jett. Fantastic breaking ball there as he spins in a dime, and it's 1-2.
That's as slow as we've seen him throw that. He usually goes a little more velocity with the pitch. That one was a big, slow breaking ball that Whitcomb waited on and was still out in front.
The 1-2. Skied on the infield. Samuelson's under it. No real pop-up dance this time, and it's the second out of the inning.
Nice and easy for Tate, right at him, barely had to move. Jack Jett continues to mow them down. Has been outstanding. Still winger tossing, but this is Jack Jett's inning unless he gets in major trouble. Oh, another hit for Chatham. They have 2.
They have 2 now.
Yeah.
The Anglers are hot.
Perhaps.
2 outs here in the top of the 9th. First pitch, that one also gets past Cardenas. Troiani goes to third. And it's 1-0.
I'm telling you. Look out for the pick behind Troiani here. Cardenas wants to show the arm. He's done it all today.
Wouldn't that be a way to end this one? A back pick to Riley King.
Would be fitting. It's been that type of day for Noah Cardenas and this team. And it's been Cardenas and King who have been doing a lot of it.
The 2 teams are even on hits. Not even in the run categories. That one's in there for a called strike at the top of the zone. Wish we had a second camera and just did a Kelly watch.
Every called strike, we've looked over there at this point. He was really unhappy with that call to Beasley. And it was a big call.
Yeah.
It was a big moment in this game, but then Beasley still executed against a great pitcher.
1-1 is outside, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike to Whitcomb.
It's going to be easy if Whitey holds on here to look back at that moment and say, oh, that non-called pitch decided the game, which I can understand, but at the same time, Beasley was not a guaranteed double off the wall.
2-1 pitch. Waved that and missed, and Orleans is down to their final strike.
Ooh, Chatham has scored. It is 4-1 in the 8th.
The Anglers are actually hot.
Things are getting interesting. But I believe that inning just came to a close. I believe that finished the frame.
Whitey, 1 strike away from a date with either Harwich or Chatham in the Eastern Division Finals.
What a story this would be for Jack Jett. Would love him to get a strikeout here.
The 2-2. On the ground, Riley King into field. He'll throw across the diamond. Got him. The Red Sox are moving on. Jack Jett spins a gem out of the bullpen to secure the win and the series for the Red Sox. It's a sweep for Scott Pickler over Kelly Nicholson as the coaches shake hands behind home plate. YD moving on here as they take it by a final score of 11-7. And Brian, in a game which really had everything.
Really did, didn't it?
You look at the outstanding day offensively, Jack Jett out of the bullpen, the back and forth nature of this game early. If you had to pick one thing that stood out, what would it be?
Clutch hitting. YD got the hits when they needed them today. Whether that was Brad Beasley, Riley King, Noah Cardenas, it was this team offensively realizing, look, this is a big moment. It's time we start doing our thing. At first, I was going to say good base running because that was it initially.
Yep.
They got things back even due to the base paths. But then after the 4th inning, innings 5, 6, and 7, where they tacked on 6 runs between those 3, it was just big hit after big hit. And it all felt like things were coming up with Beasley and King at the plate. The bottom of the order got on, and then those 2 came through. And that is the difference today. Tate Samuelson continues to rake with runners on base right now, and they get clutch hitting without 2 of their clutchest hitters, Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell. Imagine this offense, if those 2 can come back healthy for round 2, it just gets deeper and deeper with 2 all-stars potentially coming back from injury. A complete offensive performance is what stands out to me, Andre. As much as I would like to say Jack Jett, who was phenomenal on the mound. I'll say it again, phenomenal out of the bullpen.
Just to clarify, what was he?
Phenomenal. I mean, Jack Jett says, you think our bullpen's a question? I'll show you a question. He goes 5 out of the bullpen, only 1 run allowed. That was spectacular stuff from Jack Jett, but it was the offense and 11 runs that get it done tonight.
One thing that stands out to me, Brian, if you look at the context of this game, was a lot of hits here. A lot of hits for both sides. Orleans and YD both finished with 13 apiece. The big thing for me, defense. 3 critical errors for Orleans. Also had errors in yesterday's contest as well. No errors for YD in this one. Couple that with some outstanding defense from Yeager and Hall up the middle. I think that was a big difference maker.
I love that. I think that's underrated, Andre, because those 3 runs that look like they separate things in the 7th. Whitey was up 8-7, then the 3 runs come across in the 7th inning, 2 on the Beasley double, and then he scores on the King single. Those 3 runs are all unearned because of 2 errors in the inning, and that is the big difference in the ball game because it was a couple of errors by the middle of the infield for Orleans. RJ Yeager and Sam Hall combined to go 0 for 9, but I think they both played well defensively, made all the plays, especially late. They were both tested late in this game and came up big. I think that's a really underrated thing, and YD has had one of the best defenses all year long, and they did again tonight. And while they gave up 7 runs, it was a well-played defensive game from the Red Sox.
Not to be lost in this is that there is a guaranteed off day before the Eastern Division Finals will start on Monday. figures to be John Beller
Yeah.
in game number 1 of the Eastern Division Finals. As we look ahead, Harwich seems to have it on cruise control. That's a dangerous team that YD is potentially facing in the second round. What's going to be the key for YD in that series?
More hitting. It's strength on strength. We saw Orleans, a team that was scrappy. They just continued to fight and overperform. Maybe not the most skilled team here on the Cape, but man, they were well coached, and man, they were hard to knock out. Harwich and Chatham are very similar. Big-time pitching against a big-time offense in that third base dugout, Andre. That is going to be whatever. If Chatham comes back to win against Harwich, or if Harwich closes it out in the 9th tonight, we are going to see big-time strength-on-strength matchup.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a lot of fun to watch, I tell you what.
It will be. Harwich and YD played some phenomenal games in the regular season, some back-and-forth contests. I believe we split with Harwich this season in 3 apiece.
Chatham dominated the Sox.
Chatham did dominate YD. Domination doesn't always equate to victories. It did in this case, as Scott Pickler continues to have Kelly Nicholson's number.
Everyone's number in the playoffs.
Ownage is ownage, as they say. YD moving on here to the Eastern Division Finals. They take this one in Game 2 by a final score of 11-7. We'll see you Monday. Whether or not it's here or at Veterans Field in Chatham remains to be seen, but we'll let you know. Stay tuned to all our social media pages to figure out when and where these games are being played, and stay tuned for our post-game content from TJ Mathewson. He spoke to Riley King, the Georgia third baseman. Be on the lookout for that on Twitter as well. Final score, 11-7. YD moving on.